few economic numbers just coming through here. Just waiting on initial jobless claims, the last one to populate here. But durable goods, month over month for October, 5.4% downside versus an expectation of a decline of 3%. So much bigger than expected there. The prior 4% higher, 209 on initial jobless claims there, week over week. That should help things out versus 233 on the prior 225 expected. So downside continuing claims. 1.84 million versus 1.87 million expected. So that should also help things out as far as the market is concerned. Jobless claims 4-week average, 220,000 now. That number also continuing to move to the downside. We are obviously watching Nvidia. We'll talk about the earnings report, obviously moving back to the upside here ever so slightly. The market initially downside, but we are starting to bounce here off of those numbers, 0.4 for the NASDAQ, 0.25% right now for the S&P 500. Lots to get to this morning. Sam Altman back at OpenAI. We'll talk about Microsoft on that note. Here's what else is coming up this morning. Michigan consumer sentiment. That's really the biggest inflation-related number coming at 10 o'clock this morning. We'll get a 5-year and a 1-year expectation for inflation from the Michigan consumer number. So a lot to get to. It is Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, market downside ever so slightly here. I was just zooming in on a little bit of a tighter time frame off of those numbers. Looks like the durable goods number may be the problem there, but a little bit of sell volume coming in for the NASDAQ. Overall, though, trying to bounce back after yesterday's decline, snapped quite a nice winning streak for the overall market. So back to, if you go back to Friday, essentially some of the resistant points we saw on the NASDAQ. Back on Friday, welcome to a pretty busy Wednesday morning here as we talk Nvidia. Obviously, we'll touch on this Microsoft, OpenAI angle. Sam Altman back with OpenAI. I saw he agreed to an investigation into the quote-unquote behaviors that led to his ousting in the first place. So that's kind of interesting. But happy White Day here.
We didn't plan this,
we didn't plan this. No.
We didn't plan this. Yeah, very interesting. 2 new additions to the OpenAI board. Former co-CEO of Salesforce and the former Treasury Secretary being added there, so some heavyweights. Interesting report from Nvidia yesterday. We'll see how that one does today. Also, the 10-year at August lows, breaking a key technical level here. This was the level that I've been looking at. We closed below it now. Brendo making a 4.3 print overnight. Lots to talk about. Also, Nordstrom retail.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The I guess it's the last of this week, anyways. JWN with their report. This note focusing on traders focusing on this key S&P 500 resistance level. If you zoom or scroll down here a little bit, they're talking about 4,600 coming back into play. We touched on that 4,800 area with Michael Nosback on Monday. So a couple things to keep in mind as we get going. But yeah, looking to bounce after what was a red day yesterday, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. It was a red day yesterday. Right now, we're slightly up. It's not gigantic. It's nothing too crazy. But all eyes, where they're going to be. They're going to be fixated on Nvidia, which is essentially flat. If you looked at the aftermarket action, I don't think after seeing it drop 30 and bounce all the way back in here at one point touching 506, the idea that it would be almost dead flat at the open, I wouldn't have necessarily guessed it, but you're here now. Remember that we are at some big highs. Context always matters in these particular cases. It was a ridiculous quarter, but everyone was expecting a ridiculous quarter. It needed to be stupid ridiculous for this to be much higher, and if they disappointed, I don't even want to think about it. But you got to stick to what is moving. It's a holiday shortened week, so you can expect maybe in the afternoon a little bit lighter volumes. Still plenty of things moving and plenty of things to trade. So in addition to this, we already talked about Nordstrom's there, you just mentioned on the earnings. Don't forget day 2 type plays. You had Zoom make a nice bottom. I think that's worth watching. Palantir still hovering around that $20 level. I like that one as well. And hey, the EVs, look, whether you like it or not, the EVs have been a trade. Now, most of them haven't been a trade to the upside, but they've been a trade. So, eyeballs are going to be on Fisker for me. Still looking at some Rivian, and of course, Tesla, strong relative to the market so far, 0.7%.
Like, if you guys weren't watching the market recap show, then you've just missed $30 or $40 long here on Nvidia yesterday. Here's a clip shared by Brian Shannon. We went over the Nvidia call. Thanks, Fabian. We went over the Nvidia call here live yesterday. We looked at the anchored VWAP, and it's going to be, maybe I can make this a little bit bigger to show you guys. No, maybe not. But anyways, he nailed this 470. We talked about 470. It was right here. There's Brian Shannon right here talking. So go over. I'll put this in the chat there from yesterday. But we talked about it, the specific levels, the area of interest. Absolutely nailed this price, 470 for Nvidia. That's as low as we went there yesterday. But just a big shout out to Brian for coming through yesterday on that earnings call. And there, you don't see it here because I don't have it marked, but 470 was the bottom.
I have the chart because I can quickly show it.
Sure, we're just going to get stopped out here if we break above 503. So right now, we've actually wrote down on the sticky note here that we are considering a very, very bullish day. I have some great long ideas, including Apple coming through, but Nvidia right now looks like this will be a stop. We're short at 501.60 right now, but make sure you check out the market recap show. Not today, because we had the podcast, but every other day. Make sure you check that out.
I feel like I should know her. All right, a couple things. We were talking about Nelly Furtado.
Don't ask.
Ask him why, but later.
No, don't.
We'll touch on a few things here. I was going to mention oil. Huge move down there. OPEC Plus going to delay their next meeting that was scheduled for, I think it was next week, actually, before December. So they're delaying that for a month. So oil down 4.5% at the lows here. So it's not all positive today. This one, another one, not all positive. Deere down big time coming off their earnings report. Caterpillar getting a little bit of pressure on the back of this as well. And I mean, it's all about what we've been discussing over the past few weeks and months. And let's be honest, years, higher inflation, higher interest rates.
I'm going to do this for Adara. Dear, oh dear.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I had to. No, but it's not a good look here because basically they're complaining about high rate environment. Nobody wants to build. Nobody wants to expand when you're going to have to pay through the nose to finance some of their products. I'm involved in Caterpillar personally, and it's down in sympathy to Deere today. That's something I've been keeping my eye on. I'm looking for the new home starts as well as mining, construction, all the areas that involve Caterpillar, and obviously farming for Deere as well. So we'll have to wait and see how this hopefully lower rate environment next year helps with these stocks.
Yeah, so not all positive. Again, some energy names downside here this morning. DE downside, CAT as well under pressure, guys.
Yeah, John Deere possibly reaching a dead end at these lows. He stole my pun. I had come up with something on the top of my head. You know darn well I was going to do some kind of dear, oh dear my, something along those lines. But hey, the good sign is in the last week, I would say a lot of the names that have had 5 to 10% drops on earnings, and okay, some of these are retail, which is unrelated, but it's a setup that matters, that have dropped right into previous support levels in the aftermarket or sometimes in the pre-market, make a bottom offset level. So this is 360, 359.5 on Deere. Once that happens, still hearing Brendo. Once that happens, you actually get a nice rally at the open. So this has made one bottom in the pre-market already.
That's on everyone.
And then you have a higher low here at 360, which is that support level on the daily chart. So if it doesn't break the low, there's only one place for it to go. And this has happened time and time again on earnings names. Now, the last time we saw something like this was, in particular, just looking at what happened with Lowe's. There's your gap down. It made a bottom in the pre-market. It held a previous support level at the open and then broke out from the open. And that was basically the only move. So, Deere could be set up like that. As Sharif said, I'm in Caterpillar. I'm actually looking for an opportunity to buy. I actually never got filled on the way back in. I think it can be an opportunity to buy that name. I prefer it to Deere. But just if you're trading some of those earnings names, to me, you want a setup that works. And the one that has been working is simply when it just holds out that higher low and then that initial opening move is giving you that trade. Whether it holds 360 or not, like I can't predict the future, but if it does, probably room at least to the 68 to 70 area on DE, despite being down 6%.
Yeah, all I hear when I hear about Deere is I know it's a name that Danielle Shea likes, and she always buys the dip, so I'm going to try to buy that there at 350. There it is right now. Let's go. Let's start to ring the freaking money. One more time here. We just took 80 cents. Well, actually, it's now 80 cents in the money. We just got a piece out at 501 flat. You guys saw our price 501.40. Now it's 501.80. Spread starting to pick up a little bit here on Nvidia. I would like to see a 500 break, obviously. We could have just put a bid down there. How low did that go? That went to 560 cents, 65 cents there, I see. Maybe a little bit lower, 65, 62s or so right there on Nvidia. So here, $500.50 now, 525. Here we go. Here comes the break. We are now $1. Hey, Sharif, it's an early dollar club winner right there for this one. Thank you, Sharif, but you interrupted this guy. That's okay. You're forgiven for now. But there it is, a nice move to the downside here. I'm thinking next spot. And again, man, like I said, I'm here. We are holding this against us. I like the stock. And this is what happens when you like a stock and it starts to work for you. You put your neck out a little bit. And right now, we're up more than... anyways, it doesn't matter. P&L is not going to matter. We're going to have to get out a little bit here. I was just saying a level here, 499.50. We kind of just touched it. Let's put it in right now, 499.50. We haven't had much success in pre-market trading, so we'll take this one right now, $1.50 in the money on Nvidia. So far, so good here to start the day. If I wasn't trading, I'd be getting this out a little bit quicker, but I'm about to push post. So at Trader TV Sean right now for some trading ideas coming in just a couple seconds.
All right, you guys let me know when Raheem is good to go, and we'll talk about some mining movement. We were here super early this morning, and I saw some of the steel stocks, some iron ore stocks, some mining stocks in general over in Europe were doing pretty well today. Gold back above 2,000.
Yep.
So, I mean, across the board, we saw that, I mean, on the back of some of the dollar movement over the past couple of days. Yields back downside today. I mean, 3 days in a row seeing for the 30-year under pressure. So all of this could help along the way for stocks.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on yields and has been for the last little bit now, especially in November. Interesting look on gold. We've been hearing a lot made about it this year, about central banks buying gold hand over fist. I don't know if that's still happening. That was the case earlier part in the year. I've been keeping my eye on gold, kind of stagnant at $2,000, but you know, it's been hanging around there for a while. Interesting look, the dollar also up a little bit. Didn't expect that with the market popping.
All right, real quick, here's an interesting chart for you this morning. This is the S&P 500, and this just goes back to the argument of this move to the upside boosted mostly by tech. So this is the S&P 500 percentage of stocks above both 50 and 200 days, 55.1%, 73.7%, the average 55.1%. So a lot to do. Utilities, the worst off here, real estate, I guess, and utilities among the worst off. About 30% only above both the 50 and the 200 days. You guys good with Raheem there? Not yet. Still working on getting him set up. So, guys, I mean, a lot has been said about strength in tech, strength in the NASDAQ specifically, but you know, that just also leads to further potential for more of those to start getting going.
Well, you always want some breadth to the market and to move to the upside, for lack of a... I feel like that's the word that everyone always uses when they want not only the Magnificent Seven and the rest of and tech to be holding everything to the upside. They're like, the market needs, what the bull rally needs more breadth. I mean, realistically, okay, fine, yes, it kind of does, but when stuff's going up, just be happy that it's going up. And you know, at the end of the day, we actually, this got mentioned yesterday when Sean brought this particular chart up, that you've seen that breadth, well, I guess breadth doesn't extend, or the move is extending, creating some breadth in the market, specifically with financials. And you know, there's been, I thought it was 2, this chart's showing 3, but it doesn't really matter, red day since the end of October on JP Morgan. I'd swear it was 2, but I see 3. Either way, you've been in a huge upward trend that just broke out on the daily in this bank and a couple of others. I mean, I'm just singling them out because that move is probably the most spectacular. And you're getting very, very close to that 52-week top here at 158. So you get things like this where the breadth is starting to break out and you're getting other things in this bullish trend. Apologies for the wicks in here. On the 15-minute, I just wanted to show you guys this double. It's a double top here on JP Morgan. It's just underneath 154, like 153.80. With room, I mean, there's room on the daily to 158. JP Morgan not likely to make a 154 break that goes $4 in a single day. It's not impossible. Part of the reason I wouldn't necessarily think it happens today has at least something to do with the fact that it's going into that, not really a long weekend, but into the holiday weekend. But you cannot sleep on the move that's happening in some of these names. JP Morgan, nice consolidation. The last time it had a consolidation breakout, the day it went, like I think $3 and then continued another $5 in the week after that. So it's making a consolidation underneath 154 with at least $4 worth of room. When it takes out that top, I think that's a trend that you want to be in if you get the opportunity to. I mean, it's very true to say it's not just tech that has been running very, very nicely and in a trend to the upside. Time to stop ignoring the financials.
Yeah, we talked about this, and again, I feel a little bit silly about it because on the recap show, we looked through ETFs, and we were, honestly, we talked about this yesterday with BAC and Warren Buffett and WFC and all that kind of stuff. It's like this name, I just feel like we had looked at it and I didn't buy any of it when it was down here near 25, 26 bucks. I just thought that like this is probably a name that needs to be bought at some of this support. Another name obviously there was WFC, and it just, this bottomed out at 34, something like, or no, come on chart, that's still the BAC. No, 38, okay, so you're still not too far away from the bottoms here on WFC. So again, a regional bank here could get in some love if we get back into 38, 39. I do like that one. And then because I was talking about Warren a little bit there, with this move, with this move down in oil, if you were going to look for any kind of names, I know that we've talked about getting some Chevron. I know, I think you mentioned getting some. I know Randy was also looking at something in that area as well. XOM is right, yeah. So I was just looking at this name. If there's anything, they're all like this right now. I mean, most of these oil names are going to be near some support. But this, because of Berkshire and everything like that, you could maybe trust the research that these guys have done, now holding, I think Oxy's obviously a couple percentage points of his portfolio as well. The number one name in the portfolio for Berkshire is going to be Apple. The number two name is going to be BAC. Then I believe there's some Wells Fargo in there. But then Oxy also, right? So don't be afraid, I feel like, if you get into this, like, I mean, a little bit lower than here would be nice, but in between 56 and 58, something like that in here for Occidental could be a good one. And once again, guys, I'm being very, very stubborn with this. We could have just had 500 again on Nvidia, and it just refreshed again down there. So just be careful. We're $1 in the money on this name. I'm willing to hold this to 503, which is $1 against me. So, for risk to reward, we're 1-to-1 right now. If you like this trade and you're also short 502, take the profits now at $50.550 and be happy with it. So that's what we did. We took out a quarter of this trade right now. My next bid, I'm bidding 499.60s because I think that would be pretty good just to get something ahead of the 50 level. But let's just see. Hopefully a whoosh down under 500 gets us that fill, and then we're already playing with house money, but here we go. Here comes 500 trying to break down. We have a very, very special guest that is remote today. So let's go find out what's up with Rahim.
Yeah, there he is. Rahim Alani, Managing Director of OCI Groups here in Toronto. Actually not in Toronto. He is over in France. Rahim, why?
Spain, close enough.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we're here at a mining conference in León, Spain, and here to talk about what's happening in Spain as they transition out of the coal economy and focus, like a lot of people, onto the critical metal side, because that is where most economies in the world are going. And Spain is putting a big push onto that focus right now. looking at the critical metals, especially copper, zinc, lithium, and tungsten. So there's a big move here. There's a lot of participants here at this conference that are interested to see what's happening in Spain. And pardon the background noise, because you guys, we just tried to catch up outside real quick to say hi to everybody.
Yeah, we saw that beautiful view as we were getting set up there. It's
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
I tried to do that, but couldn't, the Wi-Fi wasn't great on the roof, so I apologize.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Connections are not our friend on live TV. Let's touch on Hispania Resources. Tell us about ESPN listed here in, yeah, nice ticker. ESPN listed here in Toronto on the Venture Exchange.
Yeah, actually, I'm a director on that company, so got to put that out there first. And I'm here for that company, visiting a couple of properties that the company has acquired and meeting with some government officials. So the company just announced this morning, actually, a new property that it's acquired called Otero, massive copper, zinc, with some silver opportunity there. The company recently announced another property called Lumbralis, which is a tin project, and it's got its original project, Puebla de la Reina, which is focused on copper, zinc as well. So, the founder of the company, the CEO, founded a company called Iberian, and they sold that for just shy of $1 billion. So I think they're hoping to see if he can work that magic again here in Spain with the same team doing the same project. So yeah, we're quite excited about what they've got going on and optimistic to see what the team there can pull together.
All right, outside of that, you mentioned some of the critical metals that are being discussed at that conference. Is there an area or maybe a couple of names here that we should be looking at or paying attention to as more and more comes out in that space?
Yeah, so they just recently announced a couple of months back their initiatives into critical metals and minerals, and that's an EU top-down approach. So they're really excited about companies that are focused on copper, zinc. There is still obviously a little bit of gold here, but copper, zinc, lithium are the big three that everybody is currently looking at. There are a number of companies that are public and are going public from what we've been told here in Spain. Atalaya is one of the largest ones. It's listed over in London. They've got about a 500 million market cap, and they're focused on copper concentrate. So, they're kind of one of the ones that are up there. They've acquired a former Rio Tinto project. So there is a lot of machinations happening in that space. But again, copper, zinc, lithium, I think you're going to see a lot of movements coming as we get into 2024, particularly with the government initiatives that are going to help support all of these companies that are looking for the critical metals. Because again, transitioning out of that coal economy, there is going to need to be, there's a lot of infrastructure already built. I mean, the cool thing about Spain, because everything's already EU built, you can literally take, our lawyer's car right to site versus having to go to some of these more obscure places where you got to travel a little bit more difficultly. So all of that infrastructure was there because of coal, and I think you'll start to see some of those movements come into these other critical metals into some of the other regions.
Another name that I mean, some people might recognize this one, First Quantum Minerals, FM, listed here in Toronto, also in this area.
Yeah, so First Quantum, they are in Spain. And as everybody knows, and we have talked about First Quantum a couple of times just because of the sheer size of what they do copper-wise, they are Panama-based. Their biggest asset is in Panama. And they've had some disruptions going over the past few months, and we've talked about it on the show, from the labor issues to now they're getting stopped again. So First Quantum is a company that is here in Spain. They are operating in Spain, but they do have some larger issues at play. So that's just a name we want to just throw out there to the viewers. That will be a name with a little bit of friction going into year end, depending on what happens with all of the aspects related to governmental issues that they're having.
It's a shame that we couldn't get the view of the city from the restaurant you're in, but a beautiful day.
I'll send you guys a picture.
It looked like a beautiful day over there in Spain. It's pouring rain here in Toronto, Raheem, so you're not missing a lot.
But to be fair, it's like 8 degrees, and they're making fun of me because I'm cold.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's fine. It's not raining. So we appreciate you taking the time, as always, even when you're not in the city with us. Raheem Alani, Managing Director over at OCI Group. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, too.
Raheem, always willing to come through, especially, I mean, he's out of the country, still makes it. He's been on the show while on vacation as well, and you just want to give him a big thanks. When you said tungsten, the first thing I thought of is I love tungsten myself. I'm a tungsten guy for the wedding ring because I'm cheap, and then you can buy 1 million of them, and then they're exactly the same price. I ain't spending no money on no jewelry. That ain't how I roll, that's for sure. But the one thing about tungsten, if I screw up my finger, I'm losing my fingers. The thing about it is, like, it's indestructible, basically indestructible. Like, you can't cut this sucker off if you get, like, it swollen. I got to take that off to, like, lift weights and do sports and all that kind of good stuff. But thank you very much, Raheem, for coming through. Before we get on in things, a bit of a break just happened in Palantir here. The Palantir the last few days has been pretty volatile. I think anyone that's been watching understood that. The biggest percent move was yesterday to the downside, but it's reclaiming this 20 level. So it bounced off 1970. Looks like it wants to reclaim 20, which was late day resistance. I want to long in at 20 at least as a first shot, and then 1970 would be the other level to hold on to. So this is once again, and it feels like it's in play every single day since earnings, but you know, it actually has been true. Palantir has been a pretty decent mover almost every single day since earnings. Once again, you're trading off that key $20 level.
Okay, so we'll wait to see here. I'm still going to be short. I mean, I have Palantir written. Obviously, if you're going to look at Palantir here today, it is on the sticky note. So I know a lot of you guys look at that, and if we just wanted to do it quickly here, Palantir, I was looking at 1950 as support or 2050 as a possible break. So we talked a little bit about it. Go find it at Trader TV, Sean. We are still short here on Nvidia right now. So we'll wait to find out what is up with Nvidia here. But yeah, thank you again to Raheem coming through there. Hopefully, he said he's going to send a picture of the city there. So let's go and see if he does do that, and then we'll be able to show it to you. But hey, man, from lovely Spain. So thanks for coming through once again, Raheem Alani.
Not a cloud in the sky over in Spain today. Let's get some analyst moves for you here this morning. Upgrades and downgrades. Good to go over at the board with Adara.
Applied Materials recent earnings move from last week. Redbird Atlantic with an upgrade here. Baidu yesterday earnings, an upgrade from Nomura. We also have another recent earnings play with Dix, Telsley upgrading today, and Clorox, last but not least, a little bit higher today in trading after an upgrade from JP Morgan Chase. We also have Autodesk with a downgrade from Piper Sandler. This is after earnings yesterday. HSBC with an RBC Capital downgrade. Galactic actually here with a downgrade from Morgan Stanley, so keep an eye on that one. Down about 5% right now. Last but not least for downgrades, Kohl's with a downgrade from Telsley. Guys.
We saw, well, you know what, on that list, okay, fine. Well, I'll talk about Virgin Galactic because I think it has a chance to, it could break $2, and it's got like this 140 bottom in there that could come into play today. But that's certainly one that it bears watching. Down 5% already, and you had a bounce, and you've already made another double top in here. What would make sense for resistance at 240. You could be taking out the $2 level. You were under $2 already a couple times in the pre-market here. So at the open, if it can take that out, I almost never want to be short like a 202 or a 203. I'd rather see two break and see what happens underneath it. But I do like that. I favor it to the short side, and this could be an opportunity to short it after that double top. It's Dick's Sporting Goods had one of those. Look, everything was pretty strong yesterday. Dick's Sporting Goods was up percentage-wise, but it was actually down pretty much the entirety of the day. And when we finished off the day, it was like 121, and the 120 level is the big one. If you look at it on the daily chart here, like there's resistance into 120, there's back into support. So at the open, if it can hang on to this 120, I think it has a chance for a little bit of a bounce. It was a good quarter. Most of the retail names did the other thing where they were beaten up and then bounced. This one fell all the way back down into almost where it came. If it can make a bounce off 120, I do like some trend long. Not a stock I would fight, though, if it cannot hold on to the 120 level.
I didn't really look at too many of those names there today, so I'm just going to try to stick with what I was looking at. I do, for as far as upgrades and downgrades concerned, we will get to this on our watch list, but Nvidia there today, many throughout. I think we just talked about that earlier. There was 6 big ones. 5 of them were increases. 1 of them was downside. So obviously catching a little bit of a bid here, Nvidia this morning. Only up. I mean, how disappointed would everybody right now? Thank you so much, Rob, for that, as we've been here since 5:30 this morning. Thank you so much for that, Rob. But the whole thing about Nvidia here is how disappointed is everybody in the options market right now? Implied move was 8%. So you're coming in now up 0.5%. So pretty disappointing so far for Nvidia, but an up day is an up day, and right now we are green on NVDA. So the market's also up, and again, we've already stuck our neck out here, talked about being a bullish day, so we've turned this around. Yesterday we were bearish on the market, and today with a good Nvidia report, NASDAQ above 16,000. Let's hold on to some bears, or some bulls, sorry. Let's hold on to some bulls early here on this market, although I still think Nvidia falls. And we'll talk about a price target that I have on this one when we talk about it off the watch list.
Oil back downside right now, once again, below 4% on the day. So ugly for energy stocks. Let's get into everything else you need to know here at 9 o'clock. Sharif, as always, will lead it off with a look at the futures.
Yeah, 45.51, Brendo. That's where we closed out at yesterday. We're at, basically a little bit above that right now. The overnight high, 45.67. We're still below that key resistance level that I've been talking about over and over, taking us back to September 14th and September 13th. That is that 45.65 level. Let's see if we can get above there. The overnight low, 45.43, which also happens to correspond quite closely with the intraday low yesterday, Brenda. We held that support level yesterday.
Yeah, just seeing on that other channel, 8.2% for the S&P in November. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab that. Watchlist.tradertv.live will get you there. You can scan that QR code as well, enter your email address, and then that just shows up in your inbox for free every single day. Guess what's at the top of it today? I bet you can't. 500 trying to hold right now for Nvidia as we creep back to the upside. I mean, everything was great. Let's just get that out of the way. The only kind of question mark was around China. Yep. Some concerns as far as regulatory issues, but they are saying they're talking with customers in China and the Middle East trying to come up with solutions. But I mean, everything else just absolutely monstrous for Nvidia.
All right, guys, get ready for this because this is a doozy. Pardon me? Okay. All right, guys. Income or revenue. Let's talk about revenue. 206% increase year over year. The income, just the net income, not even the revenue. This is after expenses. They made $9.24 billion on the quarter, not on the year. The story here is, as Brenda alluded to, Nvidia is trying to develop a new data center product to comply with the Biden administration's new embargo policies that don't require licenses to sell, but they're not really going to be meaningful in Q4. It's probably going to be more for full year 2024. The guidance was also excellent. About $20 billion in revenue for the fourth quarter is what they are predicting. That's a nice move up above the 18.12 billion that they reported for Q3, Brendo.
Yeah, here goes the market, guys, breaking higher right now, 0.5% for the S&P, or for the NASDAQ, I should say, with Nvidia creeping along.
Yeah, and look, I think the numbers are going to be spectacular, like tripling up revenue on comps, growth out the wazoo, billions and billions in revenues, and it's going to be impressive, but you have to keep in mind what the stock has done. So for dramatic effect, here's the weekly chart. At this point, we've all seen it, so it doesn't lose any luster, but it gives you a little bit of perspective. We had just made another round trip from 400 to 500 on Nvidia. So it does it once, twice, this is the third time we're testing this high, potentially breaking it. It's always difficult when you have very high expectations, a stock which is flown this far, you get to levels like this and you have this weird bounce. Sure, you have people that probably still want to buy it, but you also have people ringing the register and getting that opportunity to do so at some pretty good levels. So as far as Nvidia goes, it would have been, sometimes it's more exciting to trade something which is breaking outside of a range. But let's look at what's going on here. The last couple of days, if you include pre-market, which sometimes matters, sometimes doesn't, and then post 506 is a level up here. If it breaks out at 506, I think that is going to be obvious trouble for shorts and a place where you can start looking for a breakout long. 500 is more or less where we closed. I think it's in a weird no man's land for me between those two numbers. If it's trend under 500, I think it's a join. The long I would like would be breaking out of 506 because I don't think anybody that's short up at these tops in terms of like the longer term, like if your bet was short Nvidia or short chips going into this, I don't see how this is concerning you unless we're taking out the tops. So in that vein, it would need to trend down a little bit. So it would need to break out if I want to be long. And then if it gets into any of the support levels, 470, I don't know if we see that because if we see that, there's so much happening. But I want to go back to about 490 even. That level in here looks like a reasonable place where you could find an early morning bounce. And that's just going back into Friday's low at 490. As a sympathy play, I already said I was going to be looking at Marvell last week. But the first thing I noticed is Marvell's key price was 55 for me yesterday. And it's breaking back out above 55 and is stronger than Nvidia with 1%. They don't report till next week. I think they're the last chip name to report this earnings season. So I'm going to scratch the notion of just following Nvidia moves with Marvell because it seems a little bit countertrend. I said yesterday I'd be using it for that. I am not going to because I've noticed that divergence this morning.
Hey, we're here, guys. All right, yeah, thank you, Sharif. Look at this, man. We just shorted Nvidia, just took another dollar on it right now. So we just shorted 502.50. It's at 501. We covered some there at 501.50. So we'll take a dollar right there. As you can see, we are now $1.15 in the money, and you're now rocking with the best here with Nvidia. So we're short this name. We're already got this. And then as it was written, as you guys saw, I know a lot of you are looking at the sticky note. I want to say thank you so much for that because the views and everything has gone up, up, up on this one. And then right here, guys, 490 is what we're looking at here for Nvidia. I still think we could fall into that. I actually have a bid at 491 right now. Let's just wait to see what happens. That's about the best we can do right now. So I've already talked about being short. Obviously, that price has now changed. We're now short at 502. So again, there it is right there, 490. Be patient with this name. I'm short. I mean, look, that's the other thing. Like, not only am I giving you guys these levels, but we're also trading off of them myself personally. So there it is right there, short against 503. So when you're going to go short there, 50 cents, take a dollar, that's a winning trade. Honor your stops. That's the one thing that I want to talk about because I'm not going to be stubborn with this one. Obviously, we're in the money. We've made good money right now on Nvidia. But if it does flip over and start to go long, my bias can change. I'm short. I want to be short Nvidia today. I'd love to be short all day this name. I think it's got an obviously outsized move here, but I'm just going to continue to, respect some of the work that I've done. 500 bucks, 500. Again, I don't even have any bids there. I could see there being some action there, but this is why we pick out 490. 490 goes back just a couple days, right into these levels right here. So if we can get back into 490, 491, 492, I mean, look, we'll have an $8, we'd have a $10 winner on if this gets to 492. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but as far as risk to reward is concerned, here we are, man. We're putting our neck out. We have this trade. I do want to say a big thank you to Mr. Westermeyer. We got the 8 ball here right now as well, but this means a lot to me. So at Sean Katina, you should know you are not just producing an entertaining show, thank you so much, but also educating and helping us to make more for our families. That's what it's all about, man. 3 times daily goal, 95% win weight on 23 futures trades. Mr. Westermeyer, props to you, man. Thank you so much. Real sees real, and I know you see. So thank you so much, Mr. Westermeyer, man. That does mean a lot to me and everybody here. So salute to you, my guy.
All right, more tech strength. Once again, here's Microsoft back to the upside. Bit of a pullback right now, but nice positive morning so far. If you missed it, I don't know what you were doing last night, but OpenAI CEO back. Sam Altman coming back. He did agree, as I mentioned earlier, to an investigation. The board's going to conduct an investigation into, I guess, his conduct that led to whatever it was that happened and caused his ousting in the first place. But I mean, the bigger story here, he's back at the helm for OpenAI.
Yeah, and one of his caveats, one of the things he demanded was that there had to be governance changes on the board, and he got that. So we have a couple of new, or actually 2 new additions to the board there. Former co-CEO of Salesforce, Brett Taylor, and former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, both being added. Adam D'Angelo will, formerly of Quora, will also remain on the board. It's an interesting look. I mean, obviously, I personally didn't think his dismissal made a whole lot of sense. The structure of that company obviously is one of nonprofit, so they were really focusing on the altruistic side of things. He was looking more on the profit side of things, and that's where the butting of heads came in, and now that's over.
Yeah, you and I were discussing this all the way back on Friday when this initially came out, in the sense that, I mean, it seems like Microsoft may not have really been consulted in that decision initially, but then you also have to ask the question, how much influence was there that, you know, this is now the outcome in the end from Satya Nadella? Positive, though, here, guys, as I mentioned, for Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, all things end up, I think, how the vast majority of people wanted it to happen at OpenAI, except for like 23 of 800 employees or 770. It's just that, you know, at the end of the day, like, if you move the goalposts, and in the trading sense, it'd be like if you move your stops, you lose some credibility, and that's what happened with the board. They were all like, we're willing to let it fail for our principles. We don't believe in yada yada yada, and then every single employee was like, no, get out of here. We don't agree with you, and the people spoke. You know, would it have been? You could definitely spin, and I could maybe agree with an argument that said, everybody leaving from there and Microsoft picking them up could end up a long-term good for them. But you have to keep in mind something. This is what Microsoft wanted. When they spoke out, they're like, no, we like Sam. This is where we wanted it. They want the partnership to continue. So Microsoft's getting what they want here. So just look at it from that standpoint. Microsoft's now up 1.3% into 0.5% of what the market is currently. It did make a double top if you include the pre-market. Whether you want to, it's up to you. Shy of the 380 level. We're obviously dealing with fresh highs here every time Microsoft breaks out. At this point, I think we all know that 380 looks pretty darn good. I don't know if we get a shot. Like 373, that was significant for 2 days in a row. And then in the afternoon yesterday, it was a resistance level. So right back to 373 being significant for me. You're now $5 away from it, whether or not you can get a dip into 373 at the open. $5 is only 1.2% on Microsoft, so certainly possible. It would be threatening to go green to red at that point, but that's where I would look for the bounce. If this is breaking 380, I just want to be joining some longs. Interesting, the graphic looks like Sam's running away, but he's back. That's the story. I love these. Absolutely, they're great. But he's back.
Running away from Microsoft.
Yeah, running away from. But he was never officially there technically.
I know. We did report the other day that he had signed with Microsoft,
but because that's what everybody was saying.
The truth.
Everybody was saying that, and it was likely to happen. If he was going to go there if the board didn't capitulate, which they did, and you know what, I almost have more respect if they had stuck to their principles, but they didn't. They didn't stick to their principles here. Microsoft remains a strong stock. 73 dip for me.
All right, right here, guys. $2. We just took $2 right here on Nvidia. We were waiting at $499.50. We talked about that, but so many times it's bounced off 500. So we'll just take a $500, an 11-cent bid right there, putting $2 more in our pocket. Look, if you're joining the recap show, this name was at 360. I talked about it with Chris Bretcher that day. I was like, my call is Microsoft continues to blow up. It was right here at 360. It's my largest holding in my account. Microsoft continues to work. Short it at your peril. It's Microsoft. It's all about that. But for me, it's all about Nvidia today. As you can see, we've already rang the register here. We're playing with house money. Let's see where we can go now. We're out of half of this position. First spot for $1. Second spot for $2. It's going to be chump change if Nvidia does what I think it's going to do. So right here, we have 70 cents worth of risk on board right now because our stop is 503. Here goes Nvidia right back there, down to the downside. So here we go. Let's see what happens today. I do like Microsoft, but it's not on my radar.
All right, let's go. Here's from Raheem, the view he was discussing from a rooftop restaurant that unfortunately the Wi-Fi wasn't collaborating, but absolutely stunning, obviously, and a beautiful day over in Spain. So thank you, Raheem, once again for joining us from over there. Let's talk, guess what? Palantir got a contract. We haven't said that for a while, but this was I was trying to think here. Going back, I think it was about a month ago, there was rumblings of this actually coming through for Palantir, and it looks like it has finally now. So the National Health Services awarding Palantir a new contract over in the UK.
Yeah, initially worth about 32 million pounds, but possibly increasing to about 330. It's another government contract for a company that, you know, earlier in the year started acquiring more commercial. It was about a 70-30 split at some point. I'm not sure exactly where it's at now. William Blair also maintaining Palantir with a coverage of underperformed today, so they're not really impressed by this new government contract. Let's see how they trade. They've been good lately.
Yeah, a bit of a downtick for the overall market right now. So coming off here ever so slightly, but nice start anyways for PLTR.
Yeah, Palantir the last few days has been absolutely wild. You saw it break out 2 days ago, 20.5. It got to 21.5, so almost to 22, pulling back pretty much the entirety of the day yesterday. You found a 19.7 bottom. That's here, and the aftermarket went a little bit lower. A lot of things made aftermarket bottoms, which had something to do with Nvidia when they reported their news and went down to 470. So you want to respect that. But if we can hold the afternoon resistance level at 20 even at the open, then I want to take that shot. We have 15 minutes until we open up. We'll get some imbalance data as well. Not likely to be anything there. But I look at that 20. If it holds that, it has a chance to run. If it gets to 20, if you trade at 20 level, 2050 is the next big level to the upside. And to me, if you get 1 or 2 points on Palantir, it's usually good to take it off that open. If it doesn't hold 20, I don't like anything till 1970, and then you can see the bottoms underneath here at 1930 as well. So there's good levels available to you on Palantir because of the road that it's traveled recently. You just got to be patient to wait for the key price areas to trade Palantir. It gives you the good moves, but if you trade it in the middle, then you can get in trouble.
Thank you to Nimit, to Beatrice, and all of that in the chat there. Like, look, man, all we trade, all we do is we're just ourselves. That's it. Like, we shorted this name. Sure, it just broke down through $4.99, giving us $3-4 in the money. But you know, you got to stay true to what you're doing. And I just want to say thank you to everybody out there right now. I think I got to go first because some of these talks here are very, very similar between Neil and myself. We use the word patient here a lot right now. Patient with Apple, patient with Nvidia. And I feel like with Palantir, it's the same thing right now. Just wait for Palantir. We have it written on here. I was going to say watch out for... Okay, well, that's just a sticky note, but let me just call up the levels quickly. I was going to say look out for yesterday's close on PLTR. Palantir coming in, we closed yesterday at 1950, 1960, I believe it was, right into here. Maybe was it 70? Anyways, right into there for Palantir. I could see us dipping down. We've seen some contracts talk with this name before many, many times, and sometimes it doesn't hold out. Regardless, this is a name that's going to get added to the S&P 500. So is Uber. We've seen the charts of these names. I'm hella long this. I love Palantir, so of course I'm going to be talking up my own book here. But I'm long everything, and my largest holding is Microsoft. It might even be Nvidia. I got to double check that, but probably not. Apple, Microsoft, Google. I really like it, and Palantir's kind of joining the club right now. Up 300% this year. Continues to march higher and higher. I'm looking at this 2050 as a possible break level here today. We got as high as 2035. If you're going to zoom out, it's right into here, 2050. And again, it doesn't look anything spectacular or anything on a daily chart, but or even on this minute chart. The reason why I like 2050 is, again, just like an optionable level there. So I'm about to lose a lot of money if it gets up there and doesn't go. So let's wait to see what happens with Palantir. We do have a buy order to break through that 2050. But hey, man, the market could give it up at any moment right now. So just be very, very careful. Market up double what Nvidia is up. So here comes Nvidia trying to break back below that $500. So let's see where we go now with Nvidia. But yeah, Palantir's on my mind. Right now, I'm bidding 1965 for Palantir. So if it drops below 20, we'll see if we can dance with it. It's definitely on the radar here. I'm probably going to lower my shares a little bit at that 2050 break, but I still like it. And we'll be there to hit that one. Obviously, my eyes are on Nvidia right now.
All right, let's talk about Autodesk. Not a name we touch on frequently, but worth a note because it's a decent-sized move here. ADSK, they do 3D software, AutoCAD for architects out there, if anyone's watching. Downside here, 202, 204 coming into play. The initial move was higher off the report. Again, the forecast a little questionable here, given the industry makes a little sense.
Yeah, $43 billion company, Brendo. They're not small, but like you were saying, bang on. They beat on the top and bottom line, $1.41 billion for revenue. EPS was $2.07 a share, beating both estimates there. But like the guide, like you mentioned, the guide was a little weak. They see fourth quarter revenue in the range of $1.422 billion to $1.437. In the mid-range there, the street was looking for $1.43. So we'll have to see how they do. Not one we typically trade, but I'll keep my eye on it.
Yeah, there's a ton of analyst moves on this one as well this morning. Probably 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 even. Mostly downside, so negative rating and then price target cuts across the board.
Yeah, I called this one up and was like, it's exactly, like, look at the range on this in the daily chart. 190 to 225 is trading right in the middle. It just, there's not really much to dig off of. If you have a trading style that can support a move off of this, it's hard to find. I mean, it's down, so if you like trend down, I suppose you could set something up like a pre-market high kind of trade or something along those lines. If it fails to break a pre-market high, look for the short. But that's the definition of diddling in the middle, which I'm just not generally a fan of. 200, I guess, would be a support level because it's a round number. But outside of that, this feels like exactly the kind of name where if you've been trading this, then I think it's pretty obvious where you want to trade it. If it were to have a catastrophic move to the downside, it's down 6% now. It's not impossible. You can clearly see, like, when it gets to the mid 190s, that's the spot. You know, the stock's telling you that's where you want to be going long. So if I was going to trade this stock today, it would be down there, about 100,000 in volume. Not a heck of a lot of volume as well on Autodesk. There's going to be a lot of volume on the chip names. There's going to be a lot of volume on the EV names, on some continuation. Yeah, some earning plays that I think are going to give you some juice. This has to get down into the 190s before it gets interesting for me, at least.
We were just talking about oil. Back to 4.5 here, like basically session lows here for crude oil. So energy stocks could see a little bit of pressure. Let's wrap up the retail earnings for the week. Nordstrom's the last one to come through. Yeah, revenue declines, retail sales and credit card revenues of 4 to 6% versus full year 2022, which was higher. So, I mean, the initial move you can see after the close yesterday was down. I mean, that's really not exciting so far this morning.
I mean, look, it was a little bit better, but the comp is soft because it was 2022. So $67 million in net income they made. Compare that to a $20 million loss last year. Revenue was, below expectations, $3.32 billion. The street was looking for 3.4. The metrics, this is where I was keeping my eye. Net sales dropped 9.4%, mostly at their main flagship store. They did a little bit better on Nordstrom Rack, where they attracted more of that thrifty consumer. At the Rack stores, they only dipped about 1.8%. Digital sales also decreased, so even the online buyers down 11.3% year over year, Brendo. But the good thing is here, they had a glut of inventory last year. Inventory is about down 9% on the year.
Yeah, pretty uneventful, though, as far as what is happening for Nordstrom's, guys.
Yeah, the reason Nordstrom's gets interesting is because of the 21% short float. Here, just pull up my trade ideas account. As always, guys, check out the deal. Trader TV 25 right now you're able to get over there. But 21% short float, you can see on the daily chart, that looks like consolidation. If something's going to squeeze, what happens? Shorts get out and have to cover. So you want it breaking to the upside. Look, the company's not doing well. You can see the weekly charts trend down. So anything I say is not going to change what's been going on with this company, which is a lot of trouble. They didn't even get a boost in They didn't get a boost from the pandemic when a lot of people were shopping at home and all that good stuff. And they've just gotten back to pre-pandemic levels when it got to revenue. So they've been languishing for a lot of reasons here. Now, the issue would be, okay, it could squeeze 15. 15.50 is the real breakout potential price for Nordstrom's. So it's not one of those where, like Gap or Macy's, where you're down and then giving a chance to snap to the upside and catch a break. This one just is going sideways and needs to take out a local top for it to go squeezing. But if it breaks that, I want to be looking for the breakout long 15.50. Doesn't mean I like the stock. It just means it's got a 21% short float. And when retail squeezes after earnings, then I usually want to get involved.
Okay, mind me for not looking at JWN today. I can look at Amazon. I was going to do that a little bit, 142 possibly for Amazon, but right now we're $3 in the money on this Nvidia short, so that's where obviously my attention is. I already put a bid here for Amazon down at 4.9. I mean, 495 could also be an area. I'm bidding 492, which seems pretty low. I mean, that'll be a $10 winner. I mean, that would be nice, but you know, that's where I'm bidding right now on Nvidia. Probably going to rip up off the open, but hey, you know what I mean? Like, we're here to trade, so I'm going to see if that happens. We'll see if it comes through. If you are nervous about this Nvidia trade, by the way, I've been talking about going short against 503 since 7:30. So, I mean, I hope you guys are in it. Right there, look at Amazon. I like this 142 area for Amazon. So that's kind of where we bounced yesterday. Nice move back up to the upside. If we're going to talk retail, I think you just trade the best name. I like Amazon, Costco. I like Home Depot in this space as well. But see, it's just, again, I feel that we could, if this market turns, I'm feeling bullish today, but you know, it's all going to matter early here for me at what Nvidia does. But you could see here, we talked about this earlier, I could be bullish in the market and still think, like, I think Nvidia, I talked about this, could end the day with an 8 handle, meaning 480, 48 something. And the NASDAQ, so right now Nvidia is red pretty much, and the NASDAQ's up half a point, which puts me to my next trade idea. I think we could go long Apple today. So Apple breaking through 192, I really like that. That's the trade. That's the number one idea on here. My number one idea is Nvidia, but just looking at this, because I didn't want to make the Nvidia note until we saw some action there. But right now, Apple at 192, I really like that as a break. I mean, that's the high right now over the last couple of days. I like the market. I think it's a bullish day today. I think Apple down there is great. But if we're lucky enough to get a dip for Apple, I'm not bidding, and maybe I should. I still want to focus on Nvidia, but Apple 190. So 192 long, 190 for Apple as well. Those imbalances just hit, didn't they? Or no, for NASDAQ? So let's have a quick little look here.
I mean,
Palantir went up. So Palantir was a buy, so no surprise there. We're going to go long through $20.50. After that, I mean, we had Shot yesterday. You're not going to see me in these names. Apple there as a sell, so we'll see about that one. And I don't see Nvidia on here unless it was higher, but for right now, no open interest greater than whatever, 50 or 60,000 shares here. I don't see it right now for Nvidia. So again, if you are nervous about this trade, like, don't at me and say, oh my God, dude, it went all the way back up to 503. You do you on this trade. I'm going to wait for 503, take a 70-cent hit. If I'm going to take a 70-cent hit and be in the money $3, that's pretty good. So we'll wait to see here right now.
that's the key. Like, no.
Yeah, exactly. The trade right now is 4-1.
Damn it, Randy. But what I was trying to finish before Randy did that and just kind of goes on my shoulder. But that's the key. Like, what is your risk reward going into the trade? Like, if you say you are risking $3, risk $3. Right? Like, don't say you're risking 3 and turn it into 1, or turn it into a swing trade and hold it for a week and then be like, why couldn't I short Nvidia for a week if it looked like it was a short the day after earnings? No, like, you have to structure your trade as you structure it. Only 2.5 minutes to go. I wanted to get this one in here because we talked about this in the afternoon show. Shopify above that 70 level. The week's top here is, well, the Monday high. We're halfway through the week, although more than that because of the holiday week. 70.25. It looks like we're going to open right above it. If this breaks out the top and can hold 70 even, I like the break. Just remember, overhead resistance on Shopify at 71.5. So if it gets to 71.5, that's an obvious take profit level for me on Shopify.
Slow clap. Anybody short with me on Nvidia? Let's go, man. It's now $5, Patrick. Right now, thank you, Patrick. Right there, nice little move downside for Nvidia. Here we go, baby. This is what we're talking about. But again, where is the take profit spot? Now that I see all this, this is the thing about hiding your P&L. It's like I probably should, because right now we see what we're in the money here. And it's like, man, I need to take this. But, I got some mouths to feed, baby. I got 3 kids over here. $4.95. You know what? I'm going to put a bid here just in case we get 495. So see what I'm doing already? I'm already changing it. So we're going from 492.50 down to 495. We're $5 in the money here on Nvidia. And if you guys are looking for multiple dollar plays, man, I'm your Huckleberry. Every day we've got multiple dollar plays on. You got to trade the names that are active. Here goes Nvidia back down to the downside. So let's see what's going on. I still feel like this name could blast up. So we're happy now, but at the end of the day, it's trading. This name could open up and go right to 510. We'll just get stopped out, and that will be that. So for right now, we're ready to rock and roll here, as there's only 30 seconds before market open.
Yeah, 30 seconds until market opens. Remember, today is the day before Thanksgiving. Happy early Thanksgiving to everybody. But it does mean it is a holiday short week.
Thanks, Steve.
The action oftentimes is at the open and in the first 20 minutes. That is where usually the biggest moves come in, so you want to have your ideas on board. When it's going to get to Intel, we'll get to that after the countdown here. Adara is on the bell. Sharif is running past. We got Randy's head in there in 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it. Because why not?
All right. All right, early moves now, right now. Here goes Nvidia down to 496 and change. Nvidia is Tank City. Can we get it? Yes, we can, but we're bidding 495 flat right now. So I thought we were bidding 495.50 there, but 495 flat, my bad on that one. We should have been waiting a little bit better than that, but here we go. Mike's, oh, wow. Early flush, we should have been out there. I thought I was bidding it, but we were not. 495.25. There goes Nvidia right back up to the upside, but so far so good. Look at Apple right now trying to break through. Thank you, Randy, through that 192.
That was very close.
Here we go. There's 192 for Apple. We should be long now.
Oh, yeah, that just happened. Shopify gone. We just talked about this one. Intel through 44. You want to get that. Shopify, this is me trying to punch along. It is gonzo. Bye-bye, Shopify, as that continues to run to the upside. Palantir's headed higher, as well as the market wants 16-1 on the horizon, it looks like.
Shit.
This is absolutely wild off the open. Tesla is also running to the upside. That is a super, super strong mover, boys.
Guys, who would have ever mentioned 192 long? Nobody would have mentioned that long, I don't think. But there it goes, Apple right now, huge move. We'll just take 40 cents. Hopefully it can continue its upside move. Once again, man, Nvidia goes down to 496 and says no thank you again. So that's my bad. Carried away. We should have got some 495s, but here comes Nvidia screaming back up to the upside. So a nice move back down in. But hey, man, it's not all about Nvidia. It's also about Apple. There goes Apple screaming to the upside there. Again, I told you, #1 trade today was Apple. What does it say? 192 long. So there we go again with a nice move upside for Apple. There you go, 50 cents. Hopefully you guys have it. It's been a nice move today, and it's been sponsored by Apple and Nvidia. So we'll go 2 for 2 right now. That's really too bad about this because that reloaded 496 a couple times. Maybe it's 497 or so as the bottom here for Nvidia temporarily.
Palantir, watch out for JWN that just came into 14 even, but just got Palantir into the long side. It's starting to come back. We got 16-1 blasting through. Remember on the NASDAQ, you're not going to have any obvious levels in here. I'm giving this to 20 even only, and then one more to get back to ARM. On that move to the upside, bye-bye. ARM just took out $60. $60 was that big level that we're trading off of or looking to trade off of the other day when we had the ARM long. As long as it can hold a bit above this price, I want to see it hold the open. I need buyers above 60 to chase a move $1 on something like an ARM. I was asked if I'm going to trade plug again to the short side. The answer is I would like to, but I want to short into 370. So 370 was level we had yesterday. It just pulled back in. I wanted shop off the open. Any pop, I'm now shorting any available pop that I can get in ARM.
All right, here we go. We are now
Sorry,
long.
plug.
We are, okay, there it is. We just got 98s right there, so let's go, man. John Travolta's like, man, who is this guy? Oh, I'm right here. I'm here every day. There it is, a nice move. Wow, there it goes downside again for Nvidia. Wow, all right, great. Great execution. Too bad I got out at 498 right there. Look what's happening with Palantir. We are just really small here on Palantir. So this was the whole point of this trade. We waited for 65s to come into play. That doesn't look like that's hitting either. Let's take Palantir long right here, right now. you know, you can see our average price 87s. So let's see what happens here now with PLTR.
Well, that just levitated back into 75.
Yeah, exactly. So far so good here for Palantir on that one. As that continues to go, hopefully we can get some cash money on PLTR. There it is right here. There's the longs off the bottom for Palantir. So let's see what's happening. It's Nvidia's the big dog right now. So is Apple, by the way. Like, I'm sleeping on Apple. This is a 70-cent winner given to you right off the open. So congratulations. Anybody has this one. Next stop for me, Palantir. So what's up, Brendo?
I was meaning to mention this in the pre-market, but we didn't get to it because there was a lot going on. Travel, AAL, UAL, airlines in general, positive start here to the day, 2.6% for AAL. There was a report this morning I saw that said U.S. airports expecting record Thanksgiving holiday travel over the next few days. So good luck for the airlines today.
You know about Apple, Sharif? I mean, Sharif comes back here, is partying it up, but I'm like, dude, just check the sticky note, my guy. Right there, nice move up. But anyways, I'm more concerned right now. We only have one piece left. We got out of half of Nvidia, so we'll wait for that, man. We just took that out for $5. Good trade there. Hopefully it continues to go. But here we go, man. All my attention now on PLTR. Let's see where this one goes. Hopefully back up to the upside right now. So we've got Palantir. I am going to scalp some out at 90. We'll see if we can get back up to O's. But right now it's PLTR. We're just going to wait to see what it does. If it comes back in, man, we have our 950 or so, 50 or so area as a spot for deepest concern.
Speaking of concerns, well, Altman doesn't have any right now. Microsoft doesn't have any. It's about to tag $380.
Oh, yeah.
That is the big level up there. It just got to 79.79. That's a great number twice. I like it. If it makes a breakout early, I do not want to take a break on a parabolic move higher. I want buyers above, or I want to get a bid off a fail break. I'd rather get long into a fail break on Microsoft than take a top at 935. PLTR was long in front of 20. It's at 20, and then it's 1970. 1970 was not the bottom in the aftermarket, but the bottom back here and in the open market earlier. So 1970 is a second trade for me. I'm going to lose on the first one. I'm going to have missed out on Shopify. Should not have used it. It's my own fault. We have two stop orders, one of which does not trigger if it breaks early. We are now through 70 even. I only want to be long Shopify. I'm not going to try and fade this, maybe at like $75 or something. But if it can start bouncing off of 71, I have no problems being a joiner on a move like that. It's the same thing with ARM off that $60 level. I do want to respect it. I was trying to holler Intel at 44. We still like it. It's basing out here at 44.30. But remember, 45 is the big resistance on Intel. So you have plenty of room for this to continue running. First available consolidation, I'm looking for the long as the position board just went away. Still, I'd say it's Apple long and Palantir long. Sean long Apple, Palantir, I'm long Palantir. Next fill we get, I guess it'll come back.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, so we just got stopped out of Nvidia. Like, wow, how bad would it have been not to get that fill? So there it is, man. 70-cent hit or $5 winner. You choose that one right there. Let's go props it up there for Nvidia, man. Congratulations to anybody that has that. And honestly, man, congratulations to anybody. And, we don't have a problem congratulating anybody out there who's got this Palantir trade, because there it is right there, man. Take some longs at 20. Understand that, that's going to be what it is, then average in like crazy back down there. And now you can see sort of where we're going with this. Nice move back up to Palantir. Man, we nailed that 503 level, by the way, because it only went up to 503.20 and then right back down. So that's too bad that we got stopped out there. But we are ringing registers right now all over the place, man. This Apple trade is basically $1 in the money. I'm going to get some out at 193 and then just wait to see where it goes from there. Again, the number one trade idea today. Remember we talked about, I held this up and I was like, although we have Nvidia on here, my number one idea is Apple through 192, right? So there it is right there. It's 75 cents in the money and it's all good. We're going to make a lot of money, hopefully on Palantir. Let's see where it goes. We're now long 1978 and stone cold chilling, because this is exactly what we thought would happen for Palantir. Now that it's back above 20, let's start to get a little bit out as we're at VWAP right here. So all good. Always wish you got a little bit more shares, but we did get a decent amount down there. So hopefully we can continue this upside move. And yeah, there it is already. Again, it's been a great morning. Not much to say. Nvidia, Apple, Palantir. Your boy right now is 3 for 3.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. Just trade your plan, whatever it happens to be. If you were only looking at one or two stocks, then you should only trade one or two stocks. I don't think we were looking at Tesla this morning because the market's up 1%. Tesla just turned red. And it looks like it's once again battling the 241 level. I won't zoom out for you because it's not really Tesla that I've been trying to trade. Rivian is a counter trend. Rivian wants to be strong. It just broke through 16 even. Look at this bottom that it put in here. This has to be a look. I'm going to take a shot at this breaking a consolidation like that with a gap fill almost every single time. So I'm going to wet the proverbial beak at 10s here. Technically 12s. But as long as this holds above 16 even, this needs to be a long with a potential gap fill to 16 and a half. Palantir, I'm now shooting for 2 quarters. Every single time it got to 20 or 20 and a quarter, if it gets to 20 and a quarter and pulls back, I'm getting out of the trade and trying to reload. But going in the other direction is Tesla. Rivian finally catching some kind of bid. Showed signs in the afternoon yesterday with that consolidation. Breaking out of a consolidation like that's got to be a long.
So Patrick, you are welcome. He turns around to me and says, "Thank you for the Nvidia short at 503." Well, that was my area to get out. So we got out there of our last piece. And that's, as I said, man, trade everything yourself. But that's why I'm here. I'm just glad to be able to give, traders this kind of a trade. And great trade. Here it comes right back, breaking lower right now. This could be, once again, another short in for Nvidia. It's just so stupid because this should be another $6 winner, but we're not in it. So that's what that is. We'll raise up the trophy right now anyways, temporarily, and part of that is because of Palantir. It doesn't have to be one trade. You don't have to just worry about it. Look, Nvidia is great. Nvidia is my #1 stock today. The money's coming down, that's right. But at the same time, that's going to look bad. But, our stop was 503. So when it took it out, no problemo. And again, when you're trading more shares, you can take it out multiple times. So that's my strategy, $20.10 right there for Palantir. We just got some more out at VWAP. I'm really debating. So first of all, Apple, nice move up. We still do have 40% of it. It is breaking a little bit lower. Debating getting some out. I did put something at 90 there. We did miss that opportunity. Holy shoot, man. There goes Nvidia. Your boy had this one and we dropped it. That's okay. Bye-bye, Nvidia. Back down into the downside. Hey, at least we're right. That's all that matters to me. I just hope that you guys are able to make some cash because I know we did. But yeah, that one's going to sting right now as Nvidia makes its way all the way back down to 495, the initial level that we called. But good trade there by anybody that has that one.
Yeah, and looks like it's holding underneath there. The last time it bounced off 495, it levitated back up. Like the first dollar off 95 was pretty quick. It's now languishing down. It just got back to 97, but it took a little bit longer. That could be a sign of relative weakness. It already is. But just if you look at the other chip names, they're not going this direction. ARM is up. Intel, I showed you guys Intel was up. I don't think I showed you AMD. I think Sean showed you AMD. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. I actually don't know. So I'm into ARM. I like that 60 level. I wanted to see buyers above. That's what buyers above means to me. It breaks out, holds 60, bounces, pulls back in, bounces in front of 60. I grabbed 22s. I'm out some at 50. I want to see if I can reload the amount that we got out. There's a seller at 60 and a half right now for 14,000 shares. That could bring it back down into 60 even. Likewise with Rivian, it needs to hold on to 16. That's a level, so wet the beak here at 12s. I'll add to it in front of 16 even. If it can't hold on to like a 95, then we get out of dodge here. This is not one of those hold it to the low because the low's too far away. Like that's a good level if it gets down to this, but I'd trade that a second time on Rivian. So just the 3 trades for me, still in Palantir. 2025, I think could be some trouble for that name. And then just going back over to Shopify, this will be the one that got away. It did dip tight into 71. I got ARM at that time instead of this, but I still like the 71 on Shop. I only want to be long Shopify. I'm not really seeing any short levels that I like on this particular name. So it's got to be that 71 coming back in if we're going to even grab it. Busy morning, and I already forgot to talk about SoFi. We'll have to get to that at a different time because SoFi was also on the radar.
I just want to say one more thing here. I know I showed you D. Westermeyer, so I don't know. And I just want to say thank you to this because, again, this is why I do this. Hal, I mean, thank you so much for your kind words here. But this is do not be sad if you do not get into trades when I do. That doesn't matter. This is the key thing for me. I continue to learn from you every day and continue to teach. Please continue to teach us every day. So, I mean, yeah, we're going on, I don't know how many years we've been doing this, but that's what sparked this whole show, was my ability and, all of our ability to come in here and teach, right? I used to teach all of the traders here at Day Trade the World, not just this office, every single office, all about trading and any questions or whatever they might have had about all of that, right? But then we were just like, okay, but look at Nvidia, Jesus, Jesus Cristo, Brendo.
A little one moving here as well, guys. A couple people mentioning this AGIL. They got a delisting notice back on Monday. That's really all I'm seeing. But what a move over the past couple of days here for this thing. AGIL up 200%. Again, a NASDAQ delisting notice, all I'm seeing.
All right. Yeah, anyways, what I was getting, thanks, Brendo, for that. And it was just like, I can't spend all the time, talking to offices on a webcam. So then we did something like this intraday here for all of our offices. Then we added Neil to the program, and then Brendan, and now it's a show. So I want to thank everybody for watching us here. And if you're worried about me going anywhere, I don't foresee that, but you never know what could happen. So we'll see where that goes from here. But I do have the next couple of days off, so that should be a lot of fun. And
everybody's got tomorrow off if you trade the U.S. market.
Yeah, very good. And so happy Thanksgiving to everybody, guys. And that's what really matters. Let's just go, man. This is going to be, once again, on 491. Come on right now for Nvidia. Oh, darn it. Well, congratulations, Patrick A. All, who has that short. But unfortunately, I did get stopped out. But no Nvidia, no cry. We're still here crushing everything else. So hopefully that still stays in the pocket. But wow, Nvidia. And again, like, what did we talk about? 490 right on here right now. So here comes 490 pretty quick for Nvidia. Damn it. We should still be in that one. But that's trader life, baby.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, an out's an out. Like, you've got to adhere to it. You just got to, what I always say is this. If your stop, if you get the top wick or the bottom wick and it's against your favor, it means that your level was right. It sucks, but like, you always have to make a mental note that your level was dead on if you get the top wick. You don't get top wick by accident, bad, good or bad. So it means that the first part of your process was correct. I always try to tell myself that. C3AI just double tapped 30 and a quarter and came back in. My litmus, I said this, if Nvidia goes down, I want to be shorting C3AI, and it just showed me a double top. I want 30 short. If it breaks view up, I'll take that. Shopify's just come back in. I am going to try to get some arm out in front of 61 even.
Nvidia long.
Look, maybe this might be the wrong call. This might be the wrong call, but just as the market turned back and Nvidia made lows, I got a chance to get 61s on ARM. So I'm just going to take the money and run here. Again, I'm not saying ARM is Nvidia, but I have a hard time believing if Nvidia holds down 2% and if the market pulls back from here that ARM can sustain this run. Everyone talks about valuation. Well, that'll get put to the test in my opinion here. And I'll play it by ear whether I want to dip by this. I don't want to be against the grain, even if this is a strong stock. It's just been my feelings about it.
That sucks, man. I put the wrong stop. We had bought 489.50s there. It ripped all the way to 491. I was like, okay, here we go. And I looked over and we had punched out of it already. So I talked about this earlier, man. I told these guys that remember I said we'd have a 4.8 handle right there on this name? Well, there it is right there. There's 4.8 on this name. So there we go. We just got stopped out a little bit there on Nvidia. But the frustration just keeps on mounting for me because we called this exact move down to the downside right there. I said, at 8 o'clock, man, or whatever time we went live, 8:30, I said, watch out for a 4.8 handle. We were short 503, damn it. But there it is. Anyways, nice move. Like we keep saying, you got to sort of just continue to trade your book. So, all right, we're now long Nvidia. So let's see now where it goes. We were trying to respect that 490 level. We're back long. We're long at 488.65. I'm going to put an offer at that 491, see if that fills. But yeah, what a comical bunch of trades today for me. Super happy. Oh, like here we go. Like I'm down talking the trade. I'm $1.50 in the money, but it doesn't matter. We had that short. We gave it up, and our stop clearly got run. Like that's if that's not stop hunting right there up to 503, I'm happy to get it at that level. Everything's all good, but still, mistakes ridden for me right there. Here's Nvidia up $1.50 right now. Do we just take it right here? Let's just take it at right there. So there it is right there. We will take the $1.50 and face slap, man, because we're still here. We still got what we got, and let's see if Nvidia can go back up to the upside right now. Darn it, man, that's frustrating, but such is life.
Such is life as it is. Like I said, I'm going to get out of ARM. I don't mind getting back into it. Just want to get that out of the way.
Man.
I just want to take that money off 61. It did bounce to the downside. What is also happening here, AMD is flying up 4%. You're seeing one of the biggest reasons people were looking maybe negatively for Nvidia was going to be competition with AMD and along with China. So you're seeing a nice consolidation top here on AMD. I generally prefer to trade Intel. You're seeing a similar thing here. So you can pick your poison. This is strong, AMD strong, ARM is strong. I think if you're looking for bounce longs, I'm going for those types of names, the ones that are certainly strong into that upside. Palantir is retesting low. I want to respect it as long as it gets down there. Shop went for that 71 in the retry. It didn't get there. Like ideally, the 70 break was the original setup. It didn't happen. I always like to take that first dip on the flag and then see if it can hold. So I risk 15 cents on Shop. The real fail is not getting the breakout right at 9:30. It was the last thing we said before the market opened up, but you got to be able to get it. As it gets down to 70 even, I will look for a bounce off 70. If I liked it before, I'm going to like it again. I just want to see this falling knife slow down a bit before I stand in front of it. Same thing with Palantir at 70.
So, I mean, Nvidia just went to 491 again, right there and stopped. But again, our out for Nvidia here, I'm going to have to figure out what this looks like right now for us, because here goes 490, 491. So again, guys, it's another $2 in the money, but it needs to go. So for right now, we're going to wait on it. I do not have a stop. That stop could be a little bit lower here, I guess. Like, this is what I mean. Just bumbling all of these trades is ridiculous. 487. So, you know, again, we're in the money right now, $2, right? And so we're long at 486, 488, sorry. So if we break through 487, I think that's reasonable. So I'm going to put that stop right now, 486.97 or so as a stop there for Nvidia, and we'll just flatten it all out. Like, I've already called this as a down move, so quite frankly, I'm already a little bit flustered by it because that sucks. But okay, all right, let's go. Was the buildup enough to justify this move down? Yes. We've talked about that yesterday. There's a reason why we say that when Nvidia's at 503, that we could see a 480 handle on it. I thought there was going to be a pullback in. And look, exactly what I was talking about in the pre-market, guys, where you have the NASDAQ up huge and Nvidia down into the 480s. So this is what's happening right now. The market's sort of reacting. Look at Apple, man. I mean, Apple's moving around as well. So there goes Nvidia. So Nvidia cracks lower right there. So let's slap a fail on that last reload of Nvidia. The short is in. Unfortunately, we're not short, but we were before, not now. Nvidia continues to make that march lower now. That really does suck, but congratulations, anybody that has that, especially some of the traders behind.
Anybody have it? I actually don't know, but
Patrick mentioned.
Yeah, nice everybody. I think the thing about it is, if it trends down for the rest of the day, it's 950. Just keep that in mind.
Ooh, wow.
You know, there could be pops to be shorted.
Sean.
So I'm looking for 29.5 on AI. It's now starting to check up a little bit. I understand strong stock that bounced, but when I see this pullback and where this made a double top, what did it do yesterday? Drop. It went all the way down to 28. Came back in here, retested about 29.5, and then started gradually falling. So I want to look for the short off of that level. Palantir gives it up, unfortunately, so that does take out the bottom. But Palantir bounced a couple of times off 19.7, but it just gave it up. But I want AI to the south side. I said all week that I want to be short if we drop off Nvidia earnings, this particular name. So this is the one. I have my eyes on Intel and ARM. I don't want this market to fall too far back in and then just picking up a bid just because they happen to be strong earlier on in the day. I'm happy to have gotten out of ARM, even if, like you're seeing it got back up to 61. Let's get off the bid here. Let's see it bounce off 60 before I jump back into this. That is a pretty big pullback. The market can still hold up, but when that happens, it's only 9:52. 10 o'clock is when I want to reassess. Let's see what happens here with this 60 level on ARM. There's no need to rush into that trade. Let it make a bid first. AI I want short, that's for sure. Tesla has been absolutely tanking. If you're watching that name, look, it's still following the market a little bit here, but the market has a very good chance to go red. My take is I find it hard to believe. Well, I was thinking 480. I find it hard to believe we can see 4 or 5% on Nvidia and the market holds up. I think that's pretty unlikely. So the market going red is very much within realm for me. And I want to be C3 AI short if the market's going red.
Yeah, the market is definitely on its way to Redsville right here. We will reload Apple a little bit. I mean, you're coming down, you're breaking through VWAP. I need not look at Nvidia because it's at 482 right now. So I need not look at it for my own mental health right now, so we're not going to do that. But again, you know, that's what happens, right? Unfortunately. All right, so here's Apple. We've reloaded it now at 492. Sorry, 492. See, I can't even stop thinking about Nvidia. At 192. So again, this is a name that we were looking at today. Apple through this level. You know, the drop zone for me was going, I mean, we're not in that many shares. We probably will wind up just holding this to see for now. But Apple, I was going to give this to 90, but now you do have the 200 period down here near 191. So, you know, if we break below 191, then fine. But, we will average into this trade. Maybe it comes back up to the upside right now for Apple. But who knows? Right now, we are out of the money, and we're about to get stopped out, it looks like, here on Palantir. Palantir, we're out of the money now, a dime on this. I'm going to take a little bit of pressure off if we get back into the mid-40s right now. We're long 49s. So it's at 39 right now. If 10 cents is in it for you, then that's fine. But this name, we liked it. I liked it to the long side. We both did. It's been an L so far here today.
The market's saying, who cares?
The market,
right
yeah, the market is saying, man, that Nvidia trade. Stop looking at it.
Basically, that's what it is, though. Like,
yeah, that is what it is, and we had that, so I'm actually just disgusted. But there it is. Okay, so we got some 43s. Now let's go. Let's see if we can get something out around 48, and then maybe Palantir will turn this frown upside down. So let's go Palantir back up to the upside.
All right, so this life comes at you really fast. A few minutes ago, I was thinking, oh, you know, we're going to see 45 on Intel. Like that was, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. Well, 45 is not happening in the near future. I just got long in front of 44. But that's the level, so I'll give it a shot here. We still think it's up 1%, and some of the chip names that are not named Nvidia have actually been counter trend, showing some strength in here. So it did make this little bounce off of 07 for what it's worth, and then I just got in here at 13s. Ooh. Shouldn't really be adding to this unless I get a price tighter to 44, even as it stands. C3 AI. Suffice to say, there isn't much of a bid on some things right now, so getting in a consolidation short is not exactly the easiest in the world. It's trying to break 29 even. I don't want to chase this move to the bottom. I know VWAP doesn't always matter early, but on initial bounces up, I still want to play off of a resistance level where I have an out, and that was going to be 29.60. So I don't want to short 29 and be risking 2% on AI. That wasn't part of the plan. Brendo?
Yeah, some profit taking, maybe bringing the market back in here in a hurry. As far as weakness is concerned, energy stocks are leading right now. This one, Caterpillar down 2.3%, but trying to bounce. Walmart as well, a little bit relatively weak at this point, back to negative and then some 0.6%. But energy and some retail names, that's about it so far, guys.
To get, okay, well, anyways, Palantir right now starting to go back, obviously back up to the upside right now. So I say obviously, but, you know, you never know where it's going to go. So there it is right now. We are back, obviously, this part's obvious, in the money now on Palantir, as there it goes right back up to the upside. And ho-hum, we're in the nether dollar in the money now on stupid Nvidia. I'm going to mark down right here 487. So if we can get, okay, here we go. Now we're starting to rock and roll here back on Nvidia. Hey, let's just take this. Bang, right there. We'll take $2 again, spin it on Nvidia as we're back, baby. And also we're back huge right now on Palantir. Again, guys, so good trade here on Palantir. Bought those damn dips. There it is. Good move there on Palantir as now we're rocking, guys. Good trading here today. Really, obviously, really happy with the performance. We've got Nvidia now again, so that's going to be a real good one. There goes Nvidia back in the money, $2. So, yeah, you know, we feel bad sometimes, but not all the time. There goes Nvidia off 480. Gave us that bottom, bang it out to the upside again. Little bit of back and forth there. That really sucks, but there goes Nvidia. Nice downside move. And really, man, all the money today, this Palantir, yes, sir, long-term account. Yes, sir, day trading account. It's Palantir, and it's a runner one more time. So we've traded only the names on our sticky note here today. And, oh, yeah, by the way, how about that, Nvidia? Now $3 in the money the other way.
Nice bounce there on Nvidia. Good take. PLTR, that is, you know what's going to be wild off the open, but it was a good bounce. I'll end up red on it because I was 3 in. First time loss, second time win, third time loss. There might be a fifth and sixth because, look, Palantir is the kind of stock you can trade pretty much all day. It's going to do volume all day. I am worried of volume in the afternoon, though. As I said, I was buying some dips in Intel and ARM, which have been doing something else compared to Nvidia, clearly. This just bounced, got VWAP over at 44.18. 44.20, had a bit of an order there. It's not huge, but it did have a bit of a resistance level. If it breaks that, I want to take one out on the other side. Maybe you'll trap some longs in there that'll go through, and I can get that exit liquidity and then look for the top. If the market's going to hold up here, I know I like Intel. I still like ARM, even though, whoops, that's AI. C3I, which is about to get short, by the way. I still like ARM in a general sense, but 160 is gone. I'm out. And I got to look for another level. So 60 just broke, my second salvo in ARM. I'm willing to take the L on it, but that is a 60 level. It's 56 and 60 I liked on ARM. And holding a 60 long to 57, or 56, 57, I'm not going to do. If we can reclaim 60 in VWAP, that is still a stock I'm overly bullish on. You just would have seen me orders out. I'm just leaving my orders in to get short on C3AI.
What?
Just want to get that pop. I feel like if I take them out and get cute about it, then that's how I missed the trade. I missed it on the way down. I'm going to look for that short continuously on C3AI. And going back over to
Palantir.
Go back over to the NQ. We've essentially failed yesterday's top. And if you hold underneath 16.1, anything you like short, I think you've got the market going with you underneath 16.1. But it is bouncing off where we came from at 930. So we do have a 50-point range that we're jockeying back and forth. Let's go to the desk. We've got happening now.
Michigan sentiment out.
And Michigan sentiment.
Michigan sentiment just coming in right now, the final number. Our previous was 63.8. The consensus was 60.5, forecast 60.4. We do have the inflation expectations. Those were slightly higher than the consensus and the forecast of 4.4%. We're at 4.5 right now. The 5-year expectation final in line and matching the previous of 3.2 here. I'm just waiting for the actual Michigan number here to come in. Oh, so yes, this one is in. We're at 61.3, so a bit higher than the consensus and the forecast of 60.5 and 60.4. And the market here, we do have, this is the 3-minute chart. We are moving a little bit to the downside on these numbers that we just received. In terms of other stocks that are moving right now, we have HPQ. We had earnings on this name earlier, and so we did actually have a bit of a mixed report there, so keep an eye on this name. We also have Microsoft. This is another one to talk about, going down a little bit here, but still up on the day after the news that after all of the tumultuous OpenAI and Microsoft occurrences, Sam Altman is now back as the CEO of OpenAI. Brought to you by Surge Trader, where traders can get a funded trading account up to $1 million and keep up to 90% of the profits. The program has simple rules and no time limits. Go to surgetrader.com/GTV and use the promo code for 10% off. Or use the promo code TTV for 10% off.
Yeah, hit that promo code ASAP. We hit that yesterday. First of all, that's Surge Trader, but you know we have a lot of different affiliates right now. Benzinga Pro, we have Trade Ideas, we have Surge Trader. Go find what fits best for you. So yeah, the market didn't like that number, I guess.
Not at all.
Right now, when consumer sentiment higher, should be better. Obviously, as the market continues to go, we're not playing games, so the market definitely making that move down, and I am not feeling long right now, unfortunately, because this market has given it up, and Apple's giving it up as well, back into the downside. So, yeah, let's just see again where we wind up going from here, but it is looking a lot lower from here, is the answer. So there it is. Nice move back down here. We're trying to hold out hope. Sharif just messaged me about, or I messaged him about Nvidia and Palantir. We were just $4 in the money all the way back to 88s. So that's that 20 period moving average right there. It's actually 21. I got that one from the Maxman right there. So we're going to wait to see about that. But for right now, that was a good resistance level up there at 487.50. So please just be very, very careful with that. I still like it, but this is an area of concern for me now on that long. Nvidia upside. Palantir just continues to go, man. So like I said, good trade here. Really happy with PLTR. Let's just see if we can get a little bit more money on this trade back up to the upside. We'll just cash out at 58. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day today. And it's just unbelievable how much higher we possibly could be, but I feel that we've really made some mistakes here with Nvidia, but it is what it is for now.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'll be thinking about while watching football tomorrow. It'll be not getting the break on Shopify at the open. There was sometimes, it's like we ended the show with that one yesterday, and then right at 9:30 is when it broke out. So you saw me with my orders out there on C3AI. The spread on C3AI is actually 5 to 10 cents at times. So I've been, again, it might seem simple to get an execution, but as it goes up, if you want to hit the bid sometimes to get the short, you're having to pay that spread, and I've been leaving my offers and trying to catch fill. But this is like we're flushing here. I only want to be short this name. I'm not sure if Intel is going to be able to hold on to that 44 level. It's the only position I'm still in, and it's because for now it's holding on to 44. But that seems as if we break 16,000. Dollar says Intel doesn't hold this 44 level, and you got to start looking for shorts. But we're 20 handles away. There's always a chance of the market bounce here, but I'm not going to move a stop. I'm just underneath 44 even. Got to be able to get out of these longs. Even if a stock was strong early, got to be able to get out of this as the market is starting to break down pretty heavily. At least one name which you could chase. I don't want to say chase, but that's the word. Marvell. It broke VWAP. Now 55 is coming in play. That's the key level for me on Marvell. If it bounces 55, fine, but underneath 55, if Nvidia is weak, they haven't even reported yet. And they have some downside potential if you go out to the daily. Let's see if it bounces 55 first. That is the next thing to come into play. But it's just Intel left for me because I never got my AI short.
Crazy. Crazy day. That is for sure.
Wow.
Okay, well, like I said, man, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. The chef is still in the building right now. There's Palantir. We'll take another dime. We just reloaded that at 1940. See if we can get, we got it. We got that 48 fill. So there it is coming back in, Don't cry over spilled milk as that Nvidia keeps on going back in to the downside, man. I mean, to me, easy day. Like, I was only looking short today on Nvidia, and it just really sucks that there it goes to the downside. But it's still going down. So if you do have the short on, I don't know where you'd want to cover. I can be upset all I want right now, but honestly, we would have covered by now anyways. Our target was, first of all, 95. And when that came in, I was like, what? And then we were talking about 85s, and now you're at 80s. So you're all the way down here. So just congratulations, anybody that has that. Obviously, the long that we had focused on before with Brian Shannon was 470. He pegged that perfectly yesterday in the after hours. And again, it was just a level of interest. So just to, I got you, Brian, on that one. He wanted to make sure that we said that because he doesn't know where the support is going to be. He was just indicating that was a concerned level of interest for him. So we'll just continue to watch out for it. But again, big time thank you to Brian for coming through there yesterday as he definitely, man, he nailed that one. Good level for us, good level for everybody, that 470. So watch out if that does come in hot. Downside there for Nvidia 470. But what a great trade there today. All right, let's go back over to Apple real quick. We didn't load it up. As you can see, my average price is now 92. Should have got some more down there. Obviously, the market was bleeding down. Wasn't overly convinced that this wanted to stop anytime soon. I thought maybe 16,000. We got close enough to it. It got to 16,017 there, and we did not get more shares. So a little bit of a mistake, obviously, coming through here. But all good. We'll just continue to watch out what happens here with the market.
Yeah, this is one of those crazy mornings. You knew there's going to be volatility. On any holiday kind of morning, you usually get extra volatility at the open, let alone Nvidia earnings. I don't remember that kind of a thing lining up back to back. But we're not done yet. As Sean said, 16,000's in there. I have one long in front. I'm looking for another because at a level like this, I'm looking for a bounce play. Marvell 55, again, 1%. It's just, it's so weird because you look over and it's like, I'm looking at a bunch of stocks, 1%, 3%, 1%, and then I'm not even looking at AMD, and then Nvidia down 4%. But that's the truth of what these other chip names are doing. And if they find support off the 16,000 level, and if we catch any kind of a bid, then this would be it. The risk to reward does favor it down here. So I'm waiting at the quarters. Just picked it up. If we break 55, fair enough. I do not mind the reversal for this trade, but I want to see what happens overall in the future. So I have a couple of bounce plays in there. Still want you AI to the south side. If you're looking at what's going on with an earnings play, I thought maybe John Deere was going to do one of those like dip and rip breakouts, but it couldn't hold the 360 level. So it's down underneath 360. You're going to have to put that one on the back burner. A lot of these like earning gap down side trades, they hold and then break out the top. Obviously, John Deere did not break out the top. So that looks like it's going to be a nothing burger. I like the relief rally on those, but obviously it's not happening here.
All right. All right. Just still doing the same old stuff, man. I mean, Palantir just ripped up again into 50s. We got some 52s, I think. Let me give you the exact prices we got. We got 49s and 51s for that there. So we'll wait on Palantir. It's going to be my #1 stock today. Well, Apple. But Apple, we're waiting for this still to go through. So let's find some more names for everybody. How about that right now? Okay. So SoFi, again, actually, it's up from where we last bought it, so that's okay. We talked about some of our longer-term positions here. We did buy SoFi the other day at, I think it was right around here, 660 and change. Like, it's right here. So good name there, SoFi, coming into play again. So we'll wait to see. Whoops, why is that so zoomed out, so zoomed in? Off that bottom, we talked about this. Neil mentioned this earlier on, and we were like, what happened there? There was a big volume spike yesterday down here at 640.
Had to be news.
So that, again.
Had to be.
You know, that wasn't me buying, I told you. We didn't buy there. So I don't know what that is. It's a nice move to the upside. But yeah, it's still working out for anybody here is SoFi. So good long there, up 0.7%. Apple almost got back.
There goes Intel.
Down?
Yep.
Okay. Intel was another short that we had written down, but I guess it's breaking through that 44.
It broke 44. Just come to my chart for a quick second. Had the long in front of 44, was able to get some out in front of 44.20, then reloaded in front of 44, but it just broke down. So I'm not going to fight it. If it's going to show me a different level, I would have shorted 45, but that's the level I mean, 45 on the daily chart, 45 the other day. I mean, 45 is, there you go. It never quite got up to the short level for me on there. So the SoFi CEO bought stock is the news. Well, okay. Yeah, that'll do it.
Soto?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Juan Soto?
If the Jays get him, I'd be happy. But look, you don't get a volume. You do more volume in the last 2.5 hours than you did at the open going into that, then something has happened. The fact that it is not breaking too much lower and holding on to the afternoon highs has me putting it in the camp of looking long. So until, if we get any kind of a base off 16, great. If Intel had held through 16, I would be still in it. If it can reclaim 44 while we're holding 16,000, then I'll go for that. Same thing with Marvell. If it wants to hold this consolidation, great, I think you can get to VWAP. VWAP is 60 cents from here. If you can get a 1% move on it while risking about 20 pennies, I'm going to go for that. We'll just see if it can actually happen. Going to keep the stop in. Do not want to fight it too much, but 16,000 is 16,000. As far as C3I goes, you can see it's still dropping. There's been a couple of chances to get pops in here. I still want to short the at 29 consolidation, and maybe we bounce back into that level. But that's what has to happen. Has to get into that level for sure. We're talking about this morning. Someone was asking why is Coinbase up when when you had that it was like the Binance news and Bitcoin. Bitcoin was to the downside. Some of it might have been bad for Binance potentially, or Kraken I think was a bigger story recently. Good for Coinbase. I like that logic, but when the market drops like this, coin going to drop with it. And look at the triple top on Coinbase in the last 3 days. It just, instead of 112, now it's failing 106. If this starts stair-stepping down, the room is to 100. So even like a 105 with a 50-cent stop starts setting up here on Coinbase. So yes, it's been strong, but this would be the spot if you like something for weakness or rejection of a top level, shorts back into VWAP would be the thing I'm looking for if you're bearish on a stock.
All right, we're not bearish really on any stocks today. We are pretty long now. We just got some more right now. Apple could be disastrous. I was actually, as the 200 period keeps moving up here for Apple, I'm actually starting to get a little bit more on this name. And what I mean by, okay, first of all, nice win right there, guys, on whatever this stock is here, Palantir. That's going to be a good one for me. So hopefully we can continue to watch out for that on Palantir as we get some orders out right now on what we want to do. So far, so good here. It's going to be Palantir. It's going to be everything to the upside on that name. So we're going to wait to see where that one goes. But it's Apple, sorry, is what I was looking for now. Apple, now that 200 period has changed its mind, it was sub 191. Now we're going to have to look at this a little bit differently because of this move up 191.20. I'm feeling like that's going to be a spot where we want to get out. So let's watch out for 191, 191.20. If it breaks that wick bottom, actually on Apple was, I'm thinking about honestly a breakthrough here. Let's get out if it breaks through 40. We've done well enough today that I don't want to lose what we've made already today. So let's just do that. We got out some more Palantir. But you know what? We'll be, to steal a line from Neil, we'll be your Huckleberry here on Intel.
That's not my line.
No, but it's the one that you use.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Greatest character in movie history. Second greatest.
Yep, exactly. Mickey Mouse, no, just joking. Okay, nice downside move there. But hey, Intel, we're going to wait to see. So there it is. We're short. Again, it's under VWAP. It's under the 50-period moving average. I don't mind this short, but if we get a back above, I just put the stop order in right now. If we get anywhere into the 30s and 40s for this name, we want out. But we are very, very close again right now. Market down. I wouldn't
mock Doc Holliday.
No, neither would I, for sure. I would never do that. Okay, so right down there, we'll see what's going on right now. But that's what we're looking at right here. It's going to be Intel into that short.
So ARM is super, super strong right now. I do want to get back into that name, and I am still going to short a pop in C3I. It's just a matter of where. I see a lot of people talking about Netflix and DraftKings. So first things first, because one of these two I've looked at this morning. I have not looked at Netflix. I think a couple of days ago, maybe I had a quick peek at that chart. It's entirely possible, but not really when I was watching. But certainly DraftKings has been one. Look at the top here at 39. It's got a 38 to 39 very, very clear range. This is the definition of diddling in the middle, but the first thing it did is reject the high. Look for that 38 to come back into play. If the market is going to trend back into the downside, look for 38 on DraftKings. If it can hold, that's a great bounce zone for it, for a nice scalp level. If it can't hold it, that's an easy level to get out. Right, like a 38 even, it's been holding all week long. I did get one take in front of 50.5 on Marvell. I'll reload in front of 55. Again, it's still trend down. It is up on the day off that key 55 level. It was a good pivot spot in yesterday's trade. So we'll try the bounce trade off there one more time. I don't want to take 3 swings at it. Not the way they rejected. If we reject the top like that, I'm generally thinking false break, trapped longs at the open. So I don't want to be swinging 3, 4, 5 times on longs off support levels. If it breaks, I might give it one more chance. And after that, I should only be thinking about the short through. Just one more thing before we go to Brendan. I'm adjusting where I want entry on AI. 29, I want to get a move into 29 if I can here. Do not want to miss this if it goes red. Brendo.
This little SPRC starting to go again. SciSpark, they announced this morning they're going to merge with a unnamed vehicle importer from Israel this morning. They also said they're going to spin off their pharmaceutical business as a result. So SPRC is trying again.
Okay.
I see a lot of chatter about that one in the chat.
I like that.
It's a little spready on SPRC, but look at this. Okay, so reverse split, and look at what it's done since then. I don't know about you, but there's your lower high. So I suppose you'd be going long 5 today. But if this is all legitimate, let's just say $9 might be a bit of a level. You think? Look at the rejection candles when this thing gets above $8. Yeah, I know I'd want to be long up here. This needs to be clearing out these tops and show buyers above 9 even. This screams don't chase. And obviously, if it's a reverse split, that means you have a lower float than before. So just be a little cautious up here. I think it needs to be clearing these highs with a bit above before I'd be chasing that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do some math here. Wow, there it goes, guys. Let's go, man. There goes Intel right now, dime piece. We'll take dime pieces. We love that. Nice downside move here for Intel. I told you, man, we're short 44. There it is, 43.88. Right there again. It doesn't matter what stock we trade. We're gonna try to be that guy here. Nice move downside for Intel, so that's gonna be a good one. Breaking lower, you're at the 200 period moving average. Hey guys, let's take another one. So there it is again right there. Let's just keep on spinning it. We'll hit the alarm. It's been a great day trading. So there it goes. Nice move to the downside. Nvidia, I'll look at it, but ain't no friend of mine. That's why we flipped over into this position right here on Nvidia, on Intel, right? So again, stay in the pocket with these names. But Nvidia right now, 478, unbelievable there. And you know, we talk about our wins, we talk about our losses. That's crazy, that top, but we got the right price, but just too bad we executed out of it. And then we've just been battling. We got a long there, gave it basically flat on that last one. And then since then, we've just been sort of spinning our wheels. But it doesn't matter, wheels spun or not. The money we're making is on Intel right now anyways. So that is all good. Palantir, whatever, man. I can't seem to be able to generate enough offense here for Palantir. So, I mean, we're long. It's still a dime now in the money, but now a little bit more, but we'll wait to see what's happening now with Palantir. Hopefully it can back up to the upside. I would really, really appreciate that move. And then the next play for me, of course, will be, what did we just get filled on there? Oh yeah, okay, so some more apples. The next move there would be Apple down here at 192. Hopefully we can break that, then head back to VWAP of 192.16. We do have a stop down here at 191.40. So let's get going, man. I don't think this market's obviously done yet. It's only 10:20 right now. So I do have what's for lunch, but we'll spin that after 10:30.
Yeah, you got to give it some time. Well, we were here earlier, but the lunch is coming at exactly the same time, regardless of how hungry or not hungry we might be at this particular time, because usually by now, from the time I sit down at the desk,
Apple.
I'm getting a little something to eat. But AI, we took the next consolidation down. Look, if I'm stair-stepping it to the downside, then I'm going to jump into whatever consolidation. There is going to be my out. I just went for a reload on Marvell, didn't get it. We'll go for that a second time through. I meant to get to Microsoft in all of this, but obviously, you know, the market's going ham. 375 bounce play Microsoft right here. Aftermarket high, that doesn't necessarily matter, but 370, sorry about the wicks, guys. 375 at the open, this was a resistance area, which got broken down. Goodness, I guess you can see maybe a little better here. Yeah, this is gonna be tough to see because of that. There we go, that's a little bit better. But once it broke VWAP, it then rejected 75. It's the way that it rejected 75 and then dropping $4. Back above that price, 16,000 holding. Microsoft still green on the day. I want long with a 75 out. Let's get on over to the desk. We've got the small cap recap with Adara.
This first one is really interesting. So we have Safety Shot, SHOT. This one was running yesterday. Now we're down about 5%. So basically, around 9:45, there was a short report released by Capybara Research, basically calling it a snake oil type situation. We also did yesterday have news from them. That's why they were running in the first place regarding a launch in California. So definitely keep an eye on this name. Down about 5% on the day right now, previously up quite a bit. We also have SciSpark. This one was mentioned a little bit earlier. SPRC signing a non-binding letter of intent to merge with an unnamed vehicle importer in Israel, and then they're going to put their pharmaceutical aspect of the brand into a different legal entity. Last but not least, we have Pax Medica, PXMD. So this one, we're up today. We were down the last couple days because on Monday, they announced the pricing of a $7 million public offering. So no news yet on this one, specifically for today. Keep an eye out, guys.
Yes, sir. I was just thinking, I was looking at that chart again of, shoot, I already forget the name.
Pax. Was it?
No, the one before.
Shot?
Is it Shot? What was the one with the $9 top? Whatever.
The first story you had.
The first one, Shot. People would, generally speaking, if you paid for locates on that thing, not that I have, but if you've paid for locates on these types of plays, when you see these kind of tops and these rejections, that's the kind of like $6, $7, $5. I mean, just you'd be all over those time and time again at those even dollar breakdowns. But you have to pay for locates. The other thing you have to pay for locates on, thank you very much, Brankles, is Fisker, which I just got shares of. That's why I said thank you, Brankles. It's down another 9%. I don't know what to tell you. Fisker is down. Okay, so It's down 50% in the last week and a half.
Ouch.
It's down just from yesterday. It's down another 30%, something like whatever. It's getting crushed. It just broke $2. I think it's time to just short the pops until you lose on Fisker. It's a 42% shortfall. It's bouncing now. It's SSR literally every single day because of this, but who cares? It's going down. So I'm going to look to short pretty much every single pop into VWAP here, which means getting some shares into the 80s. Because it's short sell restricted, you cannot hit the bid to go short unless there's an uptick. So yes, it's not that you have to let it run over you, but you're taking fills through you on this stock. Like you're waiting at an offer, and I'm going to get filled at 88, and I'm looking to get short into these levels at the 90s. So it's not along the lines of wait for the curl. If you can get it on the way down, good luck. I will try, but I want to get some on the way upside. Fisker, absolutely insane. Fisker to $1, let's go. I'd take a shot at this at $1.
Yeah.
Some of these things are going to work, man. I'm just saying. But for now, it's going down.
Yeah,
but I mean,
probably good to average into that at some point.
I mean the EV names that are getting crushed, like Fisker, Polestar. We've been talking about this. Like, they're not all going to zero. A few of these are going to have success, and when they do, the returns will be amazing. Picking which one is going to succeed is going to be the hard trouble. But taking a shot at $1 level on a stock with like a 90-cent stop is a trade that I generally speaking like. I've done it a few times, but just make sure you get out. If not, look at Tellurian. I'll show you that chart in a bit when things settle down. If you didn't get out at $1, well then it went to 50 cents. You can't do that.
And right now, there it is again, guys. Let's go one more time here. So far, Apple positive, Intel, Palantir. I mean, I'm not looking at Nvidia anymore, but so far the trades, let's just think about the trades that we've given out right now. I mean, this Palantir long, we're just starting to cash. Look where Palantir is right now. Wow. Huge move up now. Let's get some more out at 65. Okay, there it is right there. Some more outs at 65. So we got 65 there. Okay, so nice move out there for Palantir. Another 30 cents right there on that one. A huge net name for me today is Palantir. What is another huge net day for me today is going to be on Apple, as that was a good reload. I mean, we talked about it down here. We reloaded it twice. We did take it early at 192, and there it is late again. So see you later. Nice freaking upside move right there for Apple. So once again in the money 50 right there on Apple. We're long at 191.65. I mean, what's the bottom of the day for Apple? 50s. So far so good there on that trade. We'll continue to watch that. Palantir to the upside. And then honestly, like as if this was easy, which it's not, right now Intel, huge move back up to the upside, but we're out of 70% of this name. It did not break below the 200 period moving average. So that's an out. And the reload should be here. I'm waiting for 20s. How high did we get there? We got 15. So let's put another offer there in and around that area to get a little bit more. But the big trade that we were looking for on Intel was in and around 20. So far so good here as we go. Intel's a big one, Apple's a big one, and Palantir's trying to go. And there goes Nvidia again. Nice move back up through again. So good bottoms there at 470, 477 for NVDA.
And no one calls it NVDA. Nvidia. We had this discussion before. It's like which names, like I don't go MRVL. It's Marvel because that's way too easy. But speaking of, plan is plan. Trailing stop in here and a tight one at that, because if we fail VWAP, I want to get out on Marvell. It just happened to be like 16,000 bounce. Marvell happened to be at 55, right? So this held on to 55. Intel didn't hold on to 44. It's that simple. Right? Like one's going to work, one's not going to work, but you've just got to stick with your plan of action. If it gets to the high of the day, I can play off of VWAP for a stair step into the upside. And just to keep things into perspective, I said pretty much all week I was going to look to trade Marvell off of Nvidia. But when this broke up, when Nvidia broke down, like the first thing I said to myself was, and said out loud to you guys, I'm no longer looking at it that way. Because this just told me that that thesis was not going to be the case. Nvidia was going down off the open, this was going up off the open. No longer going to play them in the same direction. End of story. You got to be able to do that. So I just trailed out of it, going to take the money and run on that. I'm finally into C3AI. It's into VWAP in here. Whoops, let's go zoom out so I can show you the levels we're working off of here. This was the channel that this held pretty much the entirety of the afternoon. Now I took this one on the way back into the upside. was chasing it. Didn't want to chase it too far because I think 29.5 is a separate level. But this 29 level is where I want to see it hold. If it can't hold on 29, I got to get the you-know-what out of Dodge. And I took Fisker on the offer, was able to get filled. It's happening to turn. Obviously, the low of the day is going to be a level because it's the low of the day. There's no support and resistance down here on Fisker to work off of. So it's like $2, $175, $150, and then whatever it happened to have done in this morning, right? So the low is currently 179, so I want to bid in front of 180. It's pretty much that simple. And then 175 because 175 is psychological. So that's what I want to do here with FSR. I'm sure Lucid's having a bad day. Let me just double check before I mean, probably, yeah. Lucid down 2%, but actually not that bad. Let me see if there's available trade on Lucid, because I know 420 on Lucid. Load. 420 on Lucid, 15 minute. The 15 minutes usually a little bit better. Yeah, 420 on Lucid was a bit of a thing in the afternoon. Here, and then 420, you get some consolidation. Those are good areas to enter position, because you should have liquidity, then you usually have a good place to stop out on the upside. So if this would have popped like 5-10 cents, it might be a nice short in Lucid, but that's getting ahead of myself. We're into Fisker instead. I just think a lot of these names could start falling together if we don't hold 16,000. I want to look for shorts if the market breaks further down.
Yeah, we should have got that reload there on Intel. Unfortunately, we do not have it, but we tried again. It didn't bump up and fill us enough. So Apple, though, Apple was out. Again, like at least we were fine on this name because we were at least looking at it. Apple goes pretty much to VWAP, and then we start to clean it all out, man. I mean, so that was a good one. We are trying to reload it back at that same level. I mean, we're just ho-humming. We got 30 cents in the money on Apple. We've got 20 cents in the money on Palantir, which has been a monster. And then we are flat right now. Well, we're out of the money 4 cents on Intel. So we'll wait to see where that one goes. And then again, guys, like you guys want to look at some UNG? Okay, we can look at some UNG right now. 590 coming through here. And again, this could be a good seasonal play. I haven't done enough work to know seasonality-wise what's going on with UNG. Does it normally rally? Or is it just too obvious? When things are so obvious, this is what I was talking with Sharif before, when things are so obvious about like it's winter, therefore buy UNG, it's like we need to figure out more about these levels. Like right now you're breaking, and I think, you know, Sharif had a good comment there where he said like, you know, once it breaks levels, I'm out. So right now you're into 580, 590 on UNG, and then just look how dramatic that move has been, man. You were just back in, again, a month ago, you were at $8 on UNG. Now look at that epic fall down. I mean, the same thing could be said here. This is why I have a beef with Michael Noss about XLE as well. There it is, crude with a build right now of 8 million versus 1 million. I'm going to get that for you guys in a second as I'm hearing oil in my ear right now. It's a build. It's a build right now in oil versus a draw. So USO right now, let's just figure it out. There it is right now.
It was a slight move down on
a draw of 1.1 million. Versus 0.7, so it's bigger than expected. So there's USO not moving around right now in a 1 minute chart, but as we reported earlier, oil down almost 5% right now today. So, all right, hey.
Big down.
Yeah, we're rocking right now. What just happened to Palantir? Oh my God, let's go. There goes Palantir again, man. It's a big one. Palantir upside, Apple upside. Yes, sir. The net goes boom, and Adara at the big desk goes, huh?
Really interesting update from crypto. This is from yesterday regarding Binance founder Changpeng Zhao, CZ. He was released on a $175 million bond for basically charges of violating the Bank Secrecy Act. So he's going to be sentenced in February. He had to, in order to settle the charge with the DOJ, he agreed to pay $4.3 billion. So this is definitely still a news story worth watching. Very interesting to see how that sentencing will go in February. In terms of Bitcoin itself, we are up on the day right now. This is the daily candle here. After having a pretty steep decline yesterday after we had news from the SEC with Kraken, and we also had the Binance news as well. So lots going on in crypto yesterday. Looking to make a bit of a recovery for BTC today. In terms of the exchanges themselves, yeah, slightly positive for Bitcoin, up about 0.5%. Ethereum, though, up almost 4% on the day, above that 2,000 area. Pretty mixed across the board right now for the cryptocurrency. Solana up about 3.5%, guys.
3.5?
Like that.
This might be wrong, but I think it was what was it? Double digits 2 days in a row, I think, with Solana. It definitely led yesterday.
That was a good one.
That one, it led yesterday. So that's the only reason I say 3% with an only. Obviously, 3% is good. SoFi is up 1% and starting, like it's not doing a ton of volume, but I think it's lulling everyone to sleep after the insider buy, bounce off the bottom of the channel here, which always has me looking for a long when you're bouncing off the bottom, and then look at the top lingering 690 and then 7 even. I would much rather be long into that level for a break than fighting for something. So you've just managed to hold on the bid. What I like is you have a 670 bottom in here. So I'm going to get cheeky with it. I want to sit in this position, and if it breaks out the top, already be in it. I am favoring, generally speaking, the long because you've made that bounce yesterday. And if it holds on to that 670, it closed at 72. So it's also a red to green, sorry, a green to red level if it breaks. Another reason I'm going to like it. So I could be in this in a while, but I want to give this a chance. I don't want to wait for it to break out that high. It's a name I wanted to be long today. And the fact that it did not break lower in all of that turmoil in the futures has me liking that long just a little bit more. Shop, Super SPAC, man. Yes, I want to get back to that one. I took the secondary level, which I've done before, where it breaks out, and then I look for the next stair step to the upside. It didn't hold. I got out of it. But that fall back, sure, it's above 70 again, but that dropped like $2.50. I need to be really convinced that I still like it here at that 70 level. It's showing some signs here, but that was a huge drop. But this is why you have stops. Like, I'll take that out all day long. It is what it is. I mean, it's easy to say, but as long as you have an out going into it, which mine was 71, then that's all that's really going to matter. But that dropped $2 right quick. I wish I could tell you I was going to reverse on it at that level, but I wasn't. It was never going to be that kind of a thing. Frank White saying Coinbase is going to be the #1 exchange.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I can believe it. And look, it's strong again. So this is the level where it's the ho-hum, right? Like this is where push comes to shove on Coinbase when it gets back above that 105. If the buyers start holding it, it's a bit spready, not a lot of bids out there. If the buyers start holding it and this breaks out the high, then I kind of want to be taking the breakout long on this. If it fails up here, then I want to do a tight stop short. The breakout is obviously good room to 112. 112, if I pull this back any further, there was a day a couple of years ago, maybe, was it 2 years ago, on Coinbase where it had a breakout in the morning from like 90 to 112. It had a ridiculous amount of sellers at that price. Then the second time it came here just this year, it rejected 112. So any breakout, to me, stalls out at the 112 area. But still has to break this top. It's $1 away from it.
All right, man, longs or shorts or whatever, it's all this to me. You know, it doesn't really matter if you go long, short, or whatever. Just trade off some of your levels. And look, I mean, now we're short Intel at 20. We talked about that's where we wanted to put the shares on. So that's what we do, and then we spin it up. Apple as well. I mean, you want to talk about a long idea? Apple right now in the pocket. We're 60 cents in the money as it just continues to go. Buy those dips there in Apple and just be very specific in what you're trying to do. I mean, that to me is all that really matters. Trade your names, trade your book. I mean, look what's happening with Palantir, right? Again, another big one here for me today. P&L wise, the #1 name, Palantir. So there it goes, right? I mean, great move there. We could make Intel could be that name too, so could Apple at some point. But for right now, man, it's like all cylinders a go. Nice move up, everything's working out. And the names that we've traded today: Apple, sticky note; Nvidia, sticky note; Palantir, sticky note; Intel, sticky note. So if you are following me around on any of the trades, that's what we're doing every single day, putting it out for you. It's a free reference. It's over there. I'll show it to you. It's over there on X. It's right here. And you guys could go find it again at any point. So there's the Apple long. I mean, we had Apple long written 192, and then I just said as it was written. You know, shout out to Nas, of course, and Adara. But there it is, a nice move up there, straight up, 192 upside, right off the open, and then there it is right there. So again, but what the important thing to talk about this is here. Good Wednesday motivation morning. Good thing it's Wednesday. Sometimes I put the wrong days there. And thank you for checking out today's Sticky Note, where I post some names that this is the key thing, that I'm looking at and levels of interest, right? So feeling bullish here early, So we've made some money on some longs, we've made some money on some shorts, and now Nvidia is all the way back up to 485 right now. So again, some wild trades today on Nvidia. Let's see where it goes from here. I guess I'm waiting for VWAP. You know, we know what kind of a trader we are. So if we can wait in for that, that would be really good. We've already tried the long. We took profits. We lost it. It did bounce off 478. So I guess if there's going to be an all clear anywhere, it's probably down there near 478, but that's $6 away now. So hopefully this market will move, and we already know Nvidia will move. I mean, we talked about it earlier that I think this ends the day with an 8 handle on it. Did I think 7? No, I did not. But that's a pretty dramatic move back in there for NVDA. It all started with me getting out right there. After we took $5 on this move, we then lose 70 cents before witnessing this epic move back in. We are going to be out at 44.30 here if Intel does break higher. FYI.
And if it breaks higher, well, something just broke higher, ARM just broke higher, high of the day. I'm now long this one through that top. We did get in and out a couple of times here, but that's a nice consolidation top. This stock,
so stupid wins.
By the way, this stock, remember on the first day, this was up at $75. Well, okay, 70, whatever. It doesn't matter. Either way, you're at some pretty ridiculous levels. It's actually the second day that it ran to the upside. The key level, if it goes any higher, is going to be about 65, 66. On the first day, that's where it reversed. You're not going to have obvious levels on daily charts when you talk about a recent IPO. The obvious one was 57. We talked a little bit about the 60 level. This is what I'm trading off of today. So if it makes a stair step up and breaks away from 61, I'm just going to play it every dollar until it gets to 65, 66. I think that's where the short will be today on that. We haven't really traded Tesla, but I see a lot of people talking about how weak Tesla is. There you go. Bad wick, sorry.
3%?
Yeah, it's down 3%, obviously weak relative to the market. VWAP's hard to see. VWAP's sitting here at 237, but 235 is being rejected up, down, over and over again. This holds underneath that 235. Now, I'm short Fisker, probably unrelated. Fisker has its own problems, which are obviously a lot worse than Tesla's. But as long as we hold under VWAP in here, this market takes out 16,000. Tesla has to be a short. I'm now into SoFi. So very simple plan here for me. I know I'm trading it and my long is at VWAP, but VWAP isn't the reason I'm in it. As long as it holds on to this afternoon high, which is also the open range bottom, I'm long into a break of $7 on SoFi. Like it's channeled down on the daily chart here. It's bounced off the bottom end of the channel. I want to look for long breaks, at least until it gets to the top of the channel. So I want to be long into the break here, looking for places to add to the upside as it gets to $7. So it was insider buying, a CEO buying yesterday, caused that big spike up, just looking for some continuation on SoFi. As we go to see what's going on in oil and other sectors with Adara.
Actually pretty great across the board with a couple notable exceptions, including Nvidia bringing down an otherwise pretty strong electronic technology area. We have a lot of strength from some of the other chip names here, including AMD, notably strong. Keep an eye on AMD. Technology services actually really green across the board right now, especially Microsoft with that Sam Altman returning to OpenAI news, so keep an eye on that one for sure. Retail trade kind of mixed Walmart down a little bit as well, but everything else pretty strong here. Tesla bringing down consumer durables, but also really worth noting the energy minerals. Oil is down, so this sector is very much down right now. Keep an eye on this. Pretty much all of these seem to be in the red right now. Some other sectors are pretty mixed across the board. Consumer services mixed, process industries mixed, but health service is actually pretty green. Keep an eye on all these names heading into the rest of the day, guys.
Very much health to the upside.
We talked a little bit here about wanting to get out of some Intel. So, I mean, that's exactly what we did. We were able to get out of Intel there. And not all of it, but it's bouncing around 15. So I'm not super convinced. I mean, we got better than 15s, but I'm not super convinced that we're going to break too much lower. So we'll hold on to just a piece right now. My next bid is 10, and then lower than that would be very, very nice. But again, not certain we are going to get anything like that. So let's be very, very careful with this trade. I mean, Palantir just obviously did this. We have to get it out, man. That's a big move. 40 cents for Palantir. We'll take that over and over and over again, guys. So that's going to be a level right there for us on Palantir, and hopefully it will pay out a little bit for us if it continues to go up. It already did. We just got out at 80, so that's a good one. We're long at 40s, guys. 40 cents on Palantir. We'll take that one. And then here comes Intel. Hopefully it can break lower. Oh, and then in what I think was a good trade, although Apple did go up to 40, we'll ring the register again right now and say, oh, Canada, to everybody that's around here. We do not celebrate Thanksgiving. Now we've already had ours. But tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving to everybody there stateside. I won't be in on Friday, but, you know, again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and it's only a half day on Friday. So I believe it'll be Obi and Neil. That should be a lot of fun. Half day on Friday. You guys are still doing, I guess it's still us to 11, then you guys.
Yeah, so the program, it's us to 11 like normal. Well, it'll be Obi and I till 11 like normal, and then we'll do the midday hour, and then the close show will be 1 hour into a 1 p.m. close Eastern. Well, I mean, you guys know it's Eastern. 1 p.m. close. So, you know, it'll be this kind of the same-ish schedule, just a little bit different timing. But hey, you don't really have to.
Are you going to throw down the market recap, or
you stay here? Well, no, because we're doing the.
No, the podcast I thought was tonight.
No, we're doing the podcast tonight. So we're taping the podcast tonight because look, the half day on Friday, it is what it is. We'll be taping the podcast tonight. So that'll happen after.
So I think are you guys doing a market recap on Friday, or do you know yet?
You know what? That's a fantastic question. Let's find out from Brad. I'm pretty sure he said no, but yeah, we'll see what's up. I'm pretty sure he had said no.
Oh, okay. I was just asking so that people would know.
No, the whole idea was to usually do the podcast instead of it on Friday, but podcast today. The problem with Friday, obviously, everyone is concerned about, you know, family, shopping, all that good stuff. So we want to give you that as a market, but you know, typically it's not exactly the busiest day, and there's no earnings. There's not a heck of a lot going on in the afternoon, but we'll play it by ear.
Okay. All right. So that should be fun, man. Oh, by the way, I know we've had a lot of great segments. Thank you, Adara, but you know the best one is still to come, and it's right now. Here it is right now, the one that everyone's been waiting for, or not. It is today, Sharif, chicken or no chicken, what do you think? Man, I bet more eggs. Chicken or, so you're saying chicken? So Sharif is betting chicken right now. So we'll do chicken dinner winner. Not saying that it is. We're going to wait for 1 second to see if it is a chicken dinner winner. So let me just look right now and have a quick look. If you said chicken today, sorry, Sharif, but that's okay. It's going to be a good one. It is AAA chicken.
That's already
AAA sirloin burgers with steakhouse mushrooms. So pay attention, everybody in the back right now, with gourmet cheeses. Multiple.
Plural.
That was not a stutter there. There are going to be gourmet cheeses on here. So maybe you'll get some pepper jack, maybe you'll get some Havarti, maybe you'll get some
mozzarella.
provolone,
No, there'll be some mozzarella.
maybe you'll get some American cheddar, maybe you'll get some cranberry sauce. It is peppercorn fries on the sides.
Oh, but speaking of, you just said it, cranberry sauce.
Yes,
I don't know where you voted here,
Canned,
but
baby.
right now we have it, of course. Well, we'll see what you guys say because everyone's saying homemade. 940 votes on the poll. 66% homemade cranberry sauce and 34% canned. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm just used to canned, so maybe that's why I said it. It's all like, part of the experience is the canned.
My wife will refuse to eat it.
It's the canned stuff, man. Like that's.
How many votes in the
It's
poll?
part of the experience.
I'm starting to get upset. I'll
part of
walk
the
off this damn
experience.
stage right now. 950 likes? Yo, first of all, I won't do it to you, Sharif, because it's a joke with you and Neil, but I think it's a great joke.
Like and subscribe today.
But we will like and subscribe today. So there it is. Make sure you do that ASAP. 950 likes. How many votes on the poll again? I've sort of already dismissed it. Oh, they're 970. So, man, let's get that going. Thank you so much. There's 1K immediately. So thank you so much for that. Let's go. You're about to get over to an even better show. Right after us. If you want to know all about, well, neither do I, but I'll say it. It's an educational show. So if you want to learn a little bit more about trading, talk about different styles. If you're like, hey, what are moving averages? I heard you guys go off yesterday about Bollinger Bands and things like that. It's all about baby steps, baby. And that's what it is happening right there on the midday show. But right there, look at Intel making a move back in. And look what just happened. It stopped again on a dime at 12s at VWAP. So we got to get some more out right now. Man, we're having a good day. We were up and doing a live show at 6 a.m. today. So, yeah, man, we're excited. We're jacked up. We're ready to rock and roll. It's going to be a great afternoon, and it's already been a great day. Thank you for all the support, man. There it is, 30% more likes right there. So thank you so much to everybody. Let's keep the momentum going.
Absolutely, let's keep it going.
Video,
Oh, come on. I knew he was going to do it.
On this channel, and never forget, do not put pineapple on your pizza.
I knew you were going to do that. I could see it coming. And just a shout out, I know it was just put in the chat there. I know how you guys do it. You can consume the podcast pretty much any way. Whether you can watch on YouTube, it's on Apple, it's on Spotify. There was an early issue where it didn't have the video, but that was fixed. So if you got it really early, then it was only audio, but you can get it in both ways. Right? You can watch it, you can listen to it first, then watch it later. Just however you want to consume it. But that was a temporary thing. If you check back, it is with video.
And
that was
it's
fixed.
you and Brendo.
Yeah, it's myself and Brendan. Next week it's going to be the professor and Brendan, and we'll just go through and keep on rotating. The idea is to get bigger and better. There's a lot to talk about, as always. Plenty to get to, everybody. I just got out of ARM. That's the thing I was going to talk about. So ARM just made a pullback off the top. Once again, it got to 61.73, pullback off the top. I'll still look to re-enter the long off 61 if it can bounce off that level. But as the market's making a lower high, like, respect it. Market's making a lower high. Anything you like short, hold on to it. Get your targets, all that good stuff. But if you're not going to hold out to the original breakout price, that would still be pretty bearish. Like, that is one heck of a wick to the upside in terms of how strong. What can I zoom out? Goodness. There we go. Now I can zoom out. That was a huge wick breaking that top, and now you're putting a lower high off of yesterday's tops. So I want to stick with anything that I like to the south side and take profits on longs, at least for now, until we can reclaim that top.
So once again, guys, like, you might think, like, there's no way we can keep doing it over and over and over again, right? Well, guess what? The chef is in the building. Intel, like, we told you we're getting out at 30, so there it is, 1-to-1. We just got some out at 08s there, or did we? We got some out at 06s there on the downside. So again, another good trade there for Intel. Let's just keep the momentum going. I still am a little bit nervous about it, but I do think the market can fall here. So with that being said, we have 5% left of Apple. Oh, that's still Intel, my bad. On Apple. Apple's coming back into a level where I think we should reload. I was bidding 65s. Let's take a little bit now at 80 if we can. I understand this is a little bit early, but I just want to start the bidding. It's like an auction. Let's start the bidding right here at 80. And then we will put in a little bit more down here near 91, 91.50, 91.60, just making sure. And then I had my stop. I got to refresh. Everything's changed so much, man. This has been, like, honestly, some of the most relaxed trading I've done over the last couple months, and it's like it's paying off in spades right now. So there it is right now. This is 91.50. So I was going to give it a little bit lower, maybe 91.40. That's still where my stop is. So a little bit of a pullback in. We'll start to buy off of the 50 period. I'm bidding 60s, and then we'll see what's happening from there. Palantir, 30 cents. Intel, look at Intel, man, right back down in again. So that's going to be a good one. Wow, I cannot believe the show's coming to an end, but at least we get Money Talks.
Pretty significant gains for the DXY right now, as you can see here on the day. We had a little bit of an upside yesterday, lots of upside today, and lots of economic data today as well. We did have a slightly higher than expected inflation expectation from Michigan, so it was 4.5% versus 4.4% previous and expected. We also had Michigan consumer sentiment come in slightly higher than the estimate, so it was 61.3 versus 60.4. Initial jobless claims a little bit lower, so we had 209,000 versus 225,000 expected. Keep an eye on all of this data, but right now, lots of healthy gains today for the DXY. Really strong dollar right now, guys.
So sometimes bad for the market. That correlation hasn't always held in the last couple of weeks, but it's something to put in the back pocket there. If you're looking at crypto, it is still in a bit of a stair step to the downside. I'd watch out for that. It just put in another lower high here. This is a 15-minute chart over on TradingView, but it is putting in a lower high and rolling back into said downside. I mean, the market also is putting in lower highs. That Coinbase top, it's still not there. Almost. It's getting close. It hasn't really gotten to that 107 top. You can play it either way. I saw people in the chat saying they wanted to go short off that 107. Yeah, I can. There's nothing. It's a key level that you can break out long. You can short off of a key level, and technically both can work. Like you could short it in front, and then that works, and eventually it could break out, and it can go the other way, and that could work as well. But I want to sit. My goal, ideally, as long as you don't break back well above 190, actually a few cents above 190 because I'm short here at 87, as long as that happens, I just want to sit in Fisker. Because it did the same thing yesterday and kind of just kept falling, which is weird. Like it had initial move to the downside, it bounced at the open, came back into like 220, and then closed the day threatening and actually breaking down at $2 by the end of the day. So if it flushes early, first bounce, short the first bounce, and then just sort of hold it the rest of the day until proven otherwise. I think the same thing with, I'd do the same thing in Lucid if Fisker wasn't so much crazier, but Lucid never even really bounced much. You know what, I like Lucid breaking down from here is a bit of a flat bottom break at 410. I'm gonna go with the same theory, but instead of waiting for 420, I think I might just give it 3 cents and then just sit in this for a flat bottom break as well. The EV names have been sick.
Look at this.
No questions asked. So I'm gonna get into Lucid as well here. That's where we have to pay for Lucid. I've already paid for Fisker, but I'm gonna pay for Lucid and do the same thing.
Oh, damn right now.
Oh my God.
I told you, the stocks I think I made the most money on. Microsoft and Intel. Look at Intel right here. Again, man, stay in your damn zone right now. Look at what we talked about here. Intel SS, baby. So there it is right now. Now in the money, 3-1, right? 30-cent winner, 10 cents worth of risk, broken down to you live right here on the show. So I hope all of you at least have something there on Intel as the market has cranked in lower and lower and lower. Palantir giving it up, Apple breaking that bottom again right now. Apple just broke right here right now, but then resisted that level. I'm going to try one more. I'm going to go 191 like 34. If it keeps on going down right now, a good thing we have Intel, but we are giving some of the day back here on Apple back down in for this down move. So yeah, the market is retracing back in. We just took VWAP. We took the 50-period moving average. But yeah, man, it's Intel for party on right now as that just broke in, and we got another one right there on the 200 period. So you can't, I mean, maybe you can do it better. I don't know how to, but if you're going to get the top there on that move and then the bottom right there as well, that's the kind of trading that for sure you want to try to get, especially when the market moves. The market could do nothing the rest of the day. You know, it's not going to. I mean, we talk about. I mean,
well, it could.
Nvidia's only at 482.
It absolutely could.
You know, to be honest with you, by the way, Apple, yeah, it could. It could. I mean, I don't. Yeah, exactly. Never speak at certainties. But we're almost made back everything here on Apple, despite it only going up another 15 cents from where we just bought it. It just broke above 50. Obviously, if it stays down here, we will take another L on this name. But for right now, Apple's trying to hold that bottom. That was a decent flush. Good thing we got a little bit out there on Intel. I'm thinking about another piece right now in case this market does battle right back up. So there it is. We got another piece out. Let's see. Oh, no, we didn't. I thought we did. Let's see if we get a, oh, we got 90. There we go. We'll just punch out a little bit there. Let's see what happens here as we just continue to rock and roll. It's Apple long. It's Palantir long. Palantir rumble. Palantir, we have exactly actually 5% left. So, you know, sometimes you got to sit around, have VWAP, and take those fills. So that's what we do. Come on, Apple. Let's go. Break. Okay, here. Now Apple's breaking. Okay, good trade here on Apple.
Yeah, so I think you can position at this point. Like we could, if we go nowhere, I don't mean literally nowhere. That's not what I meant. What I sort of meant is we just bounced off 16,000 on the futures. It's entirely possible that we don't break 16,000 and we hold, not the opening range because you saw the move to the upside, but let's call it this little top here at 1040. at 16.1. You could just hold this range for the rest of the day. So you might not get new levels is the more eloquent way that I should have said that. Not that we can't go anywhere, just we might not make new levels. However, it does set up some trades. That's why I got into Lucid. It's like, okay, well, 410 breaks, it's a bit of a flat bottom break, and you have all kinds of room to the downside. But then you have yesterday's top here at 415. So I can sit in short. I got 12 half. I got 12s and some 13s and some 12 halves, and I just got in here at the spread. If it breaks out at 15, I punch out at 16, and I just hold the short. If the market breaks down, I could be sitting in this one for the rest of the day, just like Lucid. I still like the long in SoFi. That's just a general preference. Like the way that it ran yesterday, it's been holding inside of the range. If it breaks the top, I like this one to get to the upside and continue to go further. I said if Nvidia was down, I wanted to be in a short in C3AI. I did not get this short, but I'm now short in it off of the opening range, which has a 29 quarter top. So I'm bidding down here for the big lows in front of 28, and if it can get down 27, that would be the ultimate target. But the only other names that I want to the long side, if we bounce again off of 16,000, just setting up what I like, not C3AI, it is ARM. ARM super strong today. It's holding 61. It's up 4.5% up today into a flat market, given what's happening in some other names to the downside here. I like to trend up. I want to look for 61 to hold again. They're not the only chip name that was super strong and kind of is. AMD is up 3%. The difference with AMD is it just put in a lower high. ARM is still trending up into this pullback. AMD, more or less, is just mirroring what's going on with everything else. It's putting in lower highs. So if you're putting in higher highs and trending up, I'll favor the long still. If you never broke the lows, all that good stuff. But not seeing it in AMD. Thank you very much, Steve H. It is my anniversary today. Well, there's no point in me telling my wife. She's not watching. She's too busy. She's too busy right now. But it's 9 years. It's 9 years today. It was easily the best decision that I've ever made. It's the best when you find someone to spend the rest of your life with. It's the best decision you're going to make, especially when it leads to, obviously, the most important thing in my life is my daughter, and that doesn't happen without that marriage. You guys know what it's all about. It's all about family and all that good stuff. So thank you very much. We'll be celebrating on the weekend because adulting. My daughter's gymnastics tonight doesn't care about our anniversary, so we'll still be doing the dad thing this evening with her gymnastics class, which she does definitely enjoy. A couple of things to get to. We have 1 minute to go. Just a reminder to everybody. Schedule is the same for the rest of today. We're going to flip over to the midday. We still have 2 o'clock. We're doing the podcast after, but it is a holiday shortened week. If you try to check us out tomorrow, you'll be a little bit disappointed. Eat your turkey and spend it with family. Maybe watch a little football.
Not maybe.
Well, yeah. I don't want to tell people to watch football, but what else are you going to watch tomorrow? You watch football with the fam.
Yeah, do it all there. And we are, of course, going to be off tomorrow as well. So with only 30 seconds to go, obviously their happy anniversary. That's a nice little milestone there, 9 years. All right.
10's the big one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a really irrelevant 9. But
not a random question, but.
Here's a good year.
What year you guys get married? How long you?
11.
You guys are 11, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was close. I didn't want to.
11. So 12 years.
So yeah, so you guys just passed, okay. I knew it was in the pocket past 10. I just wasn't sure the actual.
Yeah. All good on that one. All right, so a little bit out now on Intel. Again, like I said, we are basically covering everything right now. Apple, Palantir, Intel, Nvidia right now breaking back down below 480, so watch out for that one. All right, we're done now. It's been a great day. Thank you so much for watching us. Now it's over to the midday show. It's green blazer and white shirt day. So shout out to these guys looking snazzy as usual. So over to Adara and the professor.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Learn How to Trade show, formerly known as the Midday Show. That is your girl, Adara. I'm Sharif. What a day we've been having. We popped up. I thought we were going to break 16.2.